Right. We're back, baby. You know how we do it. You know what time it is. Like we always do about this time. Gotta raise up and hit that like button. Some real proper like. Yeah. Come on. You're now tuned into the late night show. For the next couple of hours, I'm gonna be talking some shit here. So sit back and relax. Tuck yourself in the bed and hit that like button. Yeah. Think I need this in my life? It was hot as hell today. It's gonna be even worse tomorrow. What up, Bong Fong? Right on time, Bong Fong boy. What up, Biggie? Philly? Templar? Becky baby? What else we got here? What up, Daniel? David Dunn. David Dunn. Yeah, well, what else is new, huh? Wait, you just finding this out now? Is this news to you? Have you seen them? They're all over the place. I haven't seen them in action, but I'm sure they're all over the place. Thank you, Templar. All right. My loyal people are here. God damn it. Anyway. Yeah. So I hope you guys are doing all right. Staying cool out there. It's friggin' 85 degrees at nighttime right now. Let's see the weather. It's 80 degrees. Yeah. Then it's going to be over 100 tomorrow. And then Wednesday, another 95, which was basically over 100. But thank God the rain comes in on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and next Tuesday. Cool us on down. Thank God. You think I need this agita? I was sweating bullets out there today. I don't know how these people in Arizona do this shit. How do you live like this? Anyway, y'all stay safe out there now. And just like I suspected, it's still kind of too soon to say, but looks like Israel and Iran and the United States are coming to a ceasefire. Iran don't want no problems. They're in no position to fight any battles. So looks like Iran's talking that shit publicly, but then behind the scenes they're making deals to have a ceasefire. So we'll see what happens. They probably need to still be bombed a little bit here and there if they try to keep going with their nuke program. They, supposedly they hid some of their uranium. They took the uranium out of the friggin' facility before it was bombed. Took it to an undisclosed location. So it looks like they're still playing games. I don't think they got the friggin' message yet. So I don't know how long this ceasefire is going to last, but even with the ceasefire, it looks like a few other spots need to be taken out, unfortunately. I don't think they got the message. They can't have this type of stuff. Uranium, plutonium, whatever the hell they're doing. Heavy water, bottled water, whatever it is, they can't have it. They want to buy bottled water, we got to supply it to them. Poland Spring. I won't even trust them with fucking water bottles. All right? Thank you, Becky. Yeah, hopefully, things calm down now. I would have liked to see some regime change, though. A little bit of regime change around there would have been good for the Middle East. They're the main agitator over there. But maybe they'll change their ways. I doubt it, but we'll see how this turns out. It's going to be a long summer. I mean, they're just getting started. Summer just started. Summertime is always ripe for fucking revolution and war, you know? They are showing their hate. Oh, the Iranians? The mullahs? Hating boy. Watching Gutfeld boy. Yeah, Gutfeld is good. He's very clever. You think I need this agita? All right, I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to drop a link, see what miracles might happen. I don't know what the hell happened, man. People fucking hate me, don't they? Son of a bitch. Let's see what else is in the news, huh? Hold on. We're going to share the screen. We're going to read it together. Make it interactive. Of course, there's a commercial right here. Look at this. Look at this. Son of a bitch. Look at this. Temporary peace. Iran likely has more underground sites that could turn into uranium facilities. You believe this shit? See, they're still playing games. They still want to play games. Experts say there could be more locations of concern. You believe this cowboy bullshit? Oh, another commercial. Gee, whoop-de-doo. Great. Hold on, man. Let me see what they're doing with this Mahmoudi prick. Chicago Tribune gives New York City stark warning on electing a socialist mayor like Zoran Mahmoudi, whatever the fuck. The ending isn't pretty. No, it's not going to be pretty. He's going to destroy this city. A documented Hamas supporting piece of shit calling for intifadas. Intifada! Intifada! He wants to be mayor. 33 years old. Stupid asshole. And people are voting for him. And you know what? They're saying with this heat wave, all the old bastards, we're going to vote for Cuomo. They're not going to go out there today and tomorrow and vote for fucking Cuomo. They're going to get a heat stroke going out there. But those young blue-haired assholes that drink soy milk and whatever the fuck with their lattes, they're going out there. The fucking turquoise star tattoos on their fucking side of their forehead and half their head is shaved off and she got a fucking nose ring like she's a fucking ox. Hey! Shout out to the anonymous person who just sent me a little PayPal. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the support. Thank you. But yeah, so now they're saying this could hurt Cuomo, and now this guy might be number one. Look who's standing behind him. Look at this. This is gonna be the mayor of New York City. Look at this shit. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up just thinking about it. You understand? Who's that gonna be? His fucking chief of staff behind him to the right? Great. Let me stop. Let me stop. I have a lot more to say, but you know what? Maybe I shouldn't. Just the picture, the picture speaks for itself. God damn it! What up, gay uncle? My intifada, intifada, my intifada. Oh yeah, if Angel was in Iraq. My intifada, my intifada. What would Sammy's name be in Iraq? Sammy the Camel? Hey, Bo. Allahu Akbar, Bo. Years ago, I rode a camel, Bo. And I didn't want to do it, Bo. They made me do it. I had to read the Quran, Bo. Oh my God. Instead of saying, oh my God, I have to say, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Bo. Alhamdulillah. Oh my God. I tried to tell him, Bo. Saddam. Anyway. Intifada! Intifada! Why you paranoid about ninjas? Not like you. What you talking about? He wins, Oyster Bay, here I come. Okay, Uncle Boy. It is a scary thought, isn't it? This guy's one pubic hair away from becoming man. Oh, yeah, Becky? Yeah? I don't know. Used to have more people around here. I don't know. Oh, shit, look at this. Speaking of Intifada. Hey!
Hey!
Buick boy.
There you go.
What's going on?
I'm all right. I'm getting ready soon to go to a different island. Unless I
Komodo
change
Island?
my mind, I'm going to go to a place called
Com-
Panay
Panay.
Island. But unless I suddenly change my mind, I'm just weighing up whether to do it or not because I've got to go. I've got to get a taxi to go for a half an hour drive to the port, and then get
What do those taxis smell
what
like?
they call a super cat ferry.
Yeah.
No, the taxis are pretty good. They're super cheap compared to first world prices.
Does it stink
Half
in
an
there,
hour
though?
drive
Stink like
cost me about
armpits? No?
$5.
Yeah.
No, Asians don't. Uh,
They don't
I don't
sweat?
know. It's not a general rule. What?
They don't sweat? They wear deodorant. I don't know.
They do, but they just don't. It's not like if you go to India or somewhere in the. Well, no, I'm not. I might have. No, I don't
God
want to
forbid.
generalize.
Yeah, let's
I
not
don't want to be
generalize, huh?
there, but
Yeah, let's not do
you
that. Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Some of those countries they don't spray anything, but anyway. Now here, on the whole, like 95%, you don't get smelly taxi drivers. No way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been fascinated over the years why. Um, I don't know. Asians don't. I don't know. They take like two baths. Even a poor country like this, I've seen them. I've got experience from where my wife come and her brothers. They all lather up every morning, a bath and night, and with plenty of soap. Even they're poor. They prioritise being clean first, and they all brush their teeth, even though there's a
That's
lot of
important.
rotten teeth. Because of a lot of people. You know what it is when you see even young kids sometimes. This is the poor class, not the middle class or high class. You get a lot of rotten teeth in kids or some adults. It's because there's no fluoride in the water here. It goes to show you these type of governments. They're not, flushed with even though there's a lot of big money in the top half of town, the bottom half, the public, they don't give a fuck. So they don't pay to have, in general, fluoride in the water. Do you know what fluoride means?
Yeah, RFK wants to take the fluoride out of the fucking water over here. RFK
Well,
Jr.
that's a mistake because that's what. Listen, in Australia we get fluoride in the water. It's normal, and that's why you don't get rotten teeth. Even with people who don't brush their teeth, you don't see them rotting before 30 years old. Whereas here, you could see a 10-year-old child who's got black teeth and some that
Ugh.
are ready to fall out because but I'm talking the poor class, not the top half or the middle class. I'm talking the very poor, because the water they drink and when they eat, there's no fluoride, so teeth rot, especially if they don't brush them daily. But anyway, I
Yeah.
didn't. Sorry to get stuck on that. I didn't mean that. What else is going on? Smoke?
I have a question. Are those flowers
Yeah.
real?
No, they're plastic, and they're the
I fucking knew
hotel
it.
issued. They decorate the place. I always, when I've got a little sliding window next to me, and if I see someone I don't like, I'll throw one down on his head. But I'm yet to see one. Yeah, that's a joke. I don't hear you laughing.
I'm sorry. I kind of like blacked out for a second. I kind of.
Oh, you're reading the chat.
Yeah,
Good
and I
day,
get I think
good
I got
day,
ADD, man.
Yeah, good day, everyone. I can't see the chat at the moment unless I switch on my mobile phone or cell phone. So I'm not ignoring you. Definitely, I know two people that are off. I don't even need to look at a phone. I know there's Dwayne's out there. He's got to be. And I know Gaylight's uncle who loves sinking the boot into me. He's guaranteed there. He probably can't wait for me to get on so he can insult me.
No,
with
he's going
something.
in tonight. He's going in
He
already.
loves insulting me in a nice way, though. In a nice. No. There's two type of insulting. One where it's nasty, and one where it's hilarious. And he's the latter. The latter.
Latter boy.
Yeah. So Gaylight's uncle, shout out to you. Shout out to you, my boy. I wonder what you got for me today. I wonder what you're going to throw at me.
He's
Have I
already got
murdered
a few
3 women
zingers
in
for
the
you.
past 24 hours? No.
He said the flowers hide the peephole in the other room.
Yeah. I always check when I enter a room. I got a special scanner. I check for bugs and cameras.
Yeah.
But anyway. But you're safe here. You don't have to. But anyway.
You got to check the vents, too. And the light bulbs.
Yeah.
They put them in the fucking light bulbs now, these bastards.
I gotta do my usual. I love my angel, God.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. You don't know her. That's why. A tiny succulent meal.
You don't know her like I do. She's my friend. You don't know her like I do.
Yeah, well, you know, me and her got a secret. Me and her, I know her very well because I visited her. We rolled in the hay. So that's what I mean.
Nice.
I know her well.
Thank you. What a man he is. Damn.
Anyway, listen. Hey, listen. All right, let's get serious here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to talk about Iran?
Mr. Smoke, I noticed you. I noticed you read off the talking points of what's fed to you in the media.
Oh.
You're not a lateral or an independent thinker. And I say that.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
What
do you mean?
Listen,
man.
Let me finish.
I was a registered Democrat. I voted for Obama.
Yeah.
Okay, boy. And now I'm a Trump guy. So
congratulations. Congratulations. But no,
I'm just saying that shows you I'm open to all types of ideas.
Yeah, but have you heard it? I've said it before. Doesn't matter, Democrats. You've only got two parties, and they're controlled. Listen, if real democracy means a party that comes out of nowhere should get elected, like let's say, make up a party of, make up a third or fourth or fifth party. You don't. You've always got the same two because your democracy is very what we call controlled. And I suppose in some ways it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it's what we call it's girdled. Girdled means it's been designed so you don't get any crack, and that's why Trump literally scared the living daylights out of the what we call the controllers or the deep state because they didn't know what they're getting with him. He could have been a crazy madman, and some say he is a little bit, but it's not designed for true.
They're the crazy ones. They're the crazy ones. He looks crazy to them because they're crazy.
Yeah, it's not designed for true what we call democracy, as in. But all Western governments are the same. They usually got the same two or
We're the
three
best. We're the
parties.
biggest democracy in the goddamn world. We showed people democracy.
You're not the biggest democracy. India is. They got 1.4
Oh,
billion. Isn't
please.
that the biggest? You are
No, no.
officially, the longest running, what we call in the modern part of the world. Yeah, democracy.
How dare
Probably
you?
yeah. But the biggest democracy is India
How dare you?
by sheer numbers.
I wouldn't say
You
they're a
know,
full blown. God damn it, White Mike. He says you're right.
yeah.
Yeah. All
But
right.
anyway, I was just
Well,
listening.
yeah.
Listen, what do you call a country like this? Let's say, you know how you have had a history, and only in the 60s did you embrace your African American big minority, right? It was in the 60s after a lot of, tossing and turning and struggle inside America. What? Because the South, or mainly a lot of 20 states, refuse to accept them to be equal. To mix in, to drink at
God
a
damn.
fountain with a water fountain, just like any white person, or to go to a
DL's right.
bathroom just like any white person, or to eat at a diner next to a white person or white woman, right? Is that correct?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that was in the 60s, it changed.
In
Okay, so
1965 Civil Rights Act.
okay. And obviously you don't kill them or massacre them when, let's say, a handful of gangs terrorize a neighborhood or set off a bomb or go on a shooting spree, right? Against white people, right? You don't get out the jets and the bombs and the artillery, right? Is that
You
correct?
can't, that
Yes or
would be
no?
illegal. That would be illegal. The cops do that though. They might get a SWAT team, or
Okay,
depending on the
okay.
situation, they'll bring in some
And,
hardware that's military like.
right, right. And then they don't anymore get a bus stop where they're not allowed to be next to the white people or next to the other majority, right? Because that's called apartheid, isn't that correct?
Yeah. No, there's none of that.
Okay,
No,
so
everybody's.
there's a
Yeah.
country, called Israel that's doing that right now. The Palestinians are like the African American. For a few of a minority, and this is not October 7th, I'm talking before, when they were even trying to be good boys and girls. They get the hell beaten out. The neighborhoods get blown up by F-16 jets. This, that, the other. Small, a few gangs go on a rampage. The whole lot, 2 million, including men, women, and children, get blown up to bits, starved, blockaded, like as if they're down in Mississippi. No one's allowed to go in or out. In other words, more or less like a concentration camp. Even when they had Gaza, it was all good. Don't fall for the line. They had a state of their own. No, it was all controlled. They couldn't do anything without Israeli guards checking what's coming in and out. They weren't allowed in and out. That's why they had those big fences, super giant walls, and they had to show passes to go in and out, a bit like leaving the Warsaw Ghetto, in and out. So I'm a supporter of Israel, and I'm not a big fan of Islamic communities, but I call it what it is. When you see those type of conditions, do you blame the people? So, because I notice, Smokey, God bless you, I love you, but you're reading the talking points that are
No.
fed to you, and that is
No.
okay.
First of all, you're comparing Israel to the United States. We have a completely different history. The slavery in America to the apartheid, whatever you want to call it, going on in Israel, they have with the
Yeah,
Palestinians. They have a completely separate history, completely different situations.
I'm aware of that.
Gaza was being watched and maintained and controlled because they elected terrorists to rule them as their leaders. Now, are you going to invite these people in? Now, there is a Palestinian population in Israel, and they're treated as upstanding citizens, I guess, until they fuck up, just like anywhere else in the world. But
They're called
huh?
the West Bank. They're called the West Bank
No, but they're also in
Palestinians, which
Israel
means
too.
They're they're called the West Bank. Yeah, the ones that I think they're separate from the Gaza, but they still get harassed if you can only look at the videos. But like I said, all right, I'm not gonna.
No,
Yeah, listen, I'm not a
that's why
supporter.
Gaza was controlled. If they wanted to live in peace, I don't think Israel would be so mean to them. If they wanted to live side by side, they would have been had their own state by now. That's how I feel. That's not a talking
Oh
point from
well,
any
I
other
hope so.
asshole.
I
That's
wish
my talking
so.
point.
Yeah, I'm all for both sides being, and Israel's got the more to step up to the plate because they control the place, they control all military, so
Well,
they've
they have
got
to for their own
more.
damn security. You see what happens when Hamas gets fucking
Yeah, I know.
you know. So they
Yeah,
have
I'll
to be
throw
like
it
that.
out
They
there.
have
Like
to
I said,
protect
I'm not.
themselves. They're not
Okay,
like
yeah,
us where we
listen,
just let
fair
fucking
enough.
gangs just fucking go out there and shoot shit up and kill people and we just turn a blind eye. Maybe the Israelis don't want to live like Americans like we do here. It's a crazy way to live. Our country was built on guns, so we're used
Okay,
to this shit, killing each other over bullshit.
yeah,
In
yeah.
Israel, maybe they don't want to
Well,
live like
you
that. You know?
don't forget. Have you heard of the word resistance against what we call
Occupation.
a power or a state that oppresses you? It's called resistance. Resistance means it's not like Martin Luther King is just going to kiss with flowers, and it still cost him his life. They want to do the Malcolm X style, where hey, white cracker, we're not going to get on our knees and ask for equality. We're going to fucking get it with a gun. And
By
that's
any
what
means necessary.
by all means necessary. And what do you think? Malcolm X was knocked off whites,
Uh-oh.
the deep state of the time. Of course, they had to, the CIA has to plan it as if it's an internal black matter. But he was on their radar to be knocked off. Poor old Malcolm
No,
X
no, no. That was his own brothers
had to
that did
pay.
that in the
Had to
Nation of
pay.
Islam.
He was
Farrakhan fucking said, "So what business is it of
with
yours, cracker? If we did something to Malcolm, what business is it of
yeah, but
yours?" Yeah.
yes, Mike. But you refuse
They did him
to
in
dive.
because he killed
You
himself of
refuse.
racism, huh?
Yeah, but listen. You refuse to dive deeper under the seaweed.
Oh, the CIA was
What
fucking with him for
the
sure. Yeah, yeah,
Nation
yeah.
of Islam was convinced by the CIA to listen. Get one of your boys. We need to get rid of for your sake and for our sake.
No, no, no. He was disrespecting Elijah Muhammad, and they didn't like that shit.
Okay. I can't
I'm just
say
saying.
any more.
That's how I know it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
fair enough. I agree. Listen, you
That
guys
the other
have
shit
been.
is conspiracy shit.
Yeah, no, I'm
To
not a
me.
conspiracy. I like giving facts. That's why I
No,
don't get into
you mostly do
aliens.
have facts. Mostly I do agree
Yeah,
with you most of the time. But
yeah. All right, all right. We'll put it this way: we agree to disagree. Yeah, I don't want to,
no, no, no,
get.
no. I like the debate. I like
Yeah,
the
no.
back and
Malcolm
forth.
X was assassinated by a higher force other than Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad. Look at this. I'm an Australian and I know the details of this. How can I know all these stuff? But anyway, I'm well read. But anyway, let's put that aside. Yes. So the Palestinians, listen. Okay, so if you don't believe in resistance, resistance means they tried everything the first 12, 20, 30 years after 1948, the creation of Israel. So they went a different route. But anyway, let's say this as a resistance, which is still today held up as heroic. When the Germans were occupying all the Jewish ghetto, the Warsaw ghetto, the Lodz ghetto, and places in Russia, and the Jews did the famous uprising, and even to this day, Steven Spielberg makes movies about the heroic. They were killing Germans, and they were even boasting how they were slitting the throats of German soldiers. Now put that as Israeli soldiers. Do you want them not to resist? Is that so? You wanted the Jews to put up with being oppressed? That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
No, but that's a
So
different
I know.
situation. I don't think
Yeah. Yeah.
when
Okay.
it's a touchy subject, but the
Yeah,
Jews
it is.
they didn't have
I'm
an
sorry.
agenda to go like we want to blow up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck it, man.
Yeah. No. I apologize. Maybe it's a bit too deep this is a fun show like Angel Gotti's. It's not. It's for fun and games.
No, I like these
I
discussions, though.
thought
No,
I
I
found a
appreciate
home
these
to
discussions.
thrash out a few theories, but I know what you mean. Let's skip it because I do go on another forum, but it's a military forum where we do talk these things, and there's a lot of Israel supporters there, but they all agree Israel needs to really change its ways for its own. And I'm talking about Israel. Have you heard of the famous editor of the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, Gideon Levy? He's been saying this, and he's even been banned from American media because he lives in actually Israel. This is not a Jewish American who goes on his holiday once a year. Gideon Levy lives in Israel all his life and has seen what he calls it, not me, apartheid system, not as strong as what South Africa was. That was really heavy metal apartheid. This is more light, but still it is. It discriminates. They're not allowed to have a bus stop to mix up with Israelis. They can't drive on certain roads. They can't farm on their own land that their forefathers had for 500-600 years. Anyway, so let's skip it. Yeah. So, yeah, it needs more, this is not the place. Sorry about that. Let's get into the fun and games like I like to say.
No,
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
appreciate these talks. We have these talks on here, but I just see it different. So you seem to sympathize with, Hamas
I
and
sympathize.
Palestinians.
No, I told you, I'm not a fan of Islam. If anything, it's a backward religion. It's only lately trying to come into the future. I'm not, but I am but I
So what's
try
your
to
problem with
explain.
Israel?
Okay, because it doesn't behave as a normal country. Italy can't go to Libya and bash the shit out and kill because a few Libyans, do you see Italy? Do you see Belgium? Do you see Spain
They're being invaded.
bombing the
Yeah,
hell out of Morocco and Moroccans? In North Africa, just where Morocco is, Spain has got 2 territories there. Do you know that? It still belongs to Spain, and it's in North Africa, and populated on the whole with North Africans. You don't see them massacring people every. Do you know Spain's got 2 territories? One's called Ceuta, I think, Ceuta. It's where Morocco, Algeria is.
yeah.
Do you know that? So it's a bit like Spain is doing like Israel does, but you never hear massacres on the people there. But all right, fair enough. Yes, I do agree the Palestinians have overplayed their hand many times. They should be a bit more sensible, but it's called, I see it as, or they would see it as resistance. But anyway, that's another matter. Anyway.
Basically, let's say.
Otherwise,
Huh?
you know what the outcome is? Sorry to cut you off, Gunsmart. I'll finish with this and I'll
Yeah,
get going. You know what the outcome is to the Palestinians? And this is what the Israelis want. Your good old red American Indian. He's on the way out. They are on the way out. And Israel is what we call they actually, I have heard a few journalists in Israel say this. We want to copy the playbook of the Americans when they said, "Go west, young man." They want to wipe them out. First, you were smart enough. You wiped out the buffalo, which means that was their major food source. And you wipe out the buffalo. You wipe more or less. They're on their way out, and then you squeeze them slowly into North America, into Canada, and a few little reservations. And where is the poor American Indian when he was a proud warrior once, who could take on a division of General Custer? Where are they now? They can't even hold a bloody pistol in their hand, in resistance anymore. They are gone. They're in museums, my friend, museums. And that's where the Palestinian is he's on the way to being in the museum. They'll say in 50 years from now, here was the Palestinians who were here for 1,000 years. But Off they go. Anyway, yeah. Common,
Uh,
hey, I'm changing the subject. Sorry to go.
yeah.
Common sense, my friend. I just saw a little comment. What is he? Is he sinking the boot into me?
Not you, no.
Oh, okay, my
I don't
common
think so.
sense
Not you.
friend. Common, jump on, my friend, and I can jump off because I want
Oh,
to
why
catch
you
up.
always trying to leave, man?
Well, because it's a bit of heavy. All right, let me give you a little tour. I've done this on my beloved's channel. Look, I got my little suitcase ready for the ferry. Can you see
Nice.
that?
Yeah, you did some shopping and shit.
Okay, look at that. Look at my beautiful shirts here, my
You knows how to
Aussie
dress.
suitcase.
You're a snazzy
Look at
dresser.
my little bathroom here. Have a look at
What was
this
that? Snakeskin
psychiatric.
shower curtain.
Have a look at my psychiatric room.
Nice. Toilet paper for tissue. Okay.
Yeah, they give it to me every day. They feel sorry for me, Soon they'll bring my medication.
There's the briefcase.
I'll bring my medication soon. I forgot to tell you. I'm holed up in a psychiatric ward here, Gunsmoke.
Yeah. Socrates says hello.
Who?
Socrates.
Fish, my friend.
Oh, motherfucker.
Did I let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah. No, it's good. I need to know these things. Thank you, Tony.
Well, he said, God bless him. I said to him on another channel, can I mention that? The channel? No. I'll just say it was a British guy's channel. And
Mark. Yeah, shouts to Mark. We love Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah,
I only go on 3 channels, man. You, Marco, and my beloved, beautiful mistress. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, Fish was having it out with Santini. They were hammering tongs, literally with hammers and rocks. They'll go debate-wise. They were really doing it beautiful. I loved it. It was 2 hours of must-view internet. And then I said to Fish, you should have heard Mark go, he laughed, it fell off there. I said, Fish, because Santini, I think, threw in a bit of come over here, Fish, and you'll see what will happen to you. And I said to Fish, mate, don't worry, a little beating won't help you, Fish. And Mark fell off his chair. He was laughing for half an hour. He was laughing. He said, Tony Buick, the great Tony Buick has
the great, magnificent Tony Buick.
The great Tony Buick.
The magnificent.
I said, Fish, don't worry, mate. A little beating won't help you. Won't hurt you, son. But anyway.
Are you wearing FUBU shirts?
Panel, son. Is he allowed?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I'll speak for both of us, Fish. Don't worry. I'm not two men on a panel.
Yeah, I'd rather you speak for Fish.
I
heard enough of Fish for a whole lifetime. Yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah, I've heard he does. He is. Listen, in these, like we say, in the modern world, in the old worlds, you go to even pre social media. Where did we used to go? Where did if you're over 40, you will know this. Where would you go to bloody debate with a whole bunch of guys or girls? You would go outside in the street, let's say in Mulberry Street, and have a coffee and sit around a table or whatever. Let's say if you come from the Bronx, or where do you come from, Gunsmoke?
Queens, New York.
Okay, Queens, New York. Back in the 80s and the 90s, that's what we used to do. But now we can all sit in our lovely lounge room in our armchairs, and we can switch on a little thing called a device, an internet, and get YouTube, and we could do it there, and we could do it anonymously if we want. But we can still thresh out the issues.
Yeah.
And every debate, you need a person like Fish. Love him or hate him. I don't agree with everything. But every community needs a Fish. You know what he does? He's like Socrates was in the old world, because he was famous, but he got him killed. So Fish Please don't go down that road. But it got him killed because the government of the time was getting feelers, or they were hearing the news. He would go on the market and corrupt the youth. He would tell them rise up or throw tomatoes at a certain identity or a politician, and he would challenge views. This is what Fish does. If you tell him something's orange, he'll tell you it's blue. If you tell him Obama's an asshole, he'll tell you no, he's not. No, he'll tell you Trump is a hero, and some people say Trump is an asshole, and that's Fish for you. But anyway, I don't want to speak for him. I'm just interpreting. Yeah.
Oh, you got the asshole part right.
So every debate, you need a Fish to throw in a few cents, even though he's hated or he's loved by some people. Yeah. What do you reckon?
I reckon that no, he's not loved. Could have been loved. Tried to be
I love him.
Oh, you love him. Oh yeah, you love him, huh? What do you love about? What do you love about him? Huh?
Because I love his personality of listen, I don't agree with 80% of what he says. Like I said, it was on a Mark show with Santini and his brother Joey Beans. But anyway,
Joey Zaza.
What I like about Fish is that he sticks to his guns. He doesn't sell out his arguments. He doesn't sell himself short when he's got a point to make. I can be accused of sellout. I might change my view. Yeah. He really holds tight. In other words, he sticks to his guns in a debate right to the end until he's knocked off, with 2 bullets in the head. He'll still shout out, fuck off, that type of person. And he'd be good in the army, I tell you what. I'd love to be in the trenches with Fish. If the hordes were, we ran out of bullets, we got blown up, our artillery's been fucked, we got no air cover, and they're ready to come over, and we're down to the last minutes, Fish will stay there until we both die together or put a bullet in each other's head. He won't run, mate, or surrender. Fish is the type of bloke, he will not surrender to buy himself an extra month's life or a year or to live in shame to be a prisoner. That's what Fish is. But anyway, you know what I mean?
To live in shame.
No, he will not live in shame like some people surrender.
No?
Yeah. I'd rather put a bullet in my head, and if I've got 2 broken arms and I can't shoot myself, I say, Fish, do the honors, my friend. Yeah, but anyway, that's it. Okay, I'll get off. I'll let someone else.
Oh, come on! What the fuck? We're talking here.
Yeah, but I gotta get ready. I got probably 20 minutes left. I got 20 minutes. I gotta start heading off, Gunsmoke.
You motherfucker. Enough
of my rant today.
This guy's going to Komodo Island over here.
I'm going to Panay. Listen, if once I get off, I might be able to. I'll tell you, send the link, or someone will pass the message to have 5 minutes on the ferry that I'm about to get on. All right, and that's. So I'll just show you, because after that I won't have signal. But anyway, hey, put common sense. We need common sense. I don't hear him much. How come?
He said he don't want to get aggravated. He gets riled up with these debates. They're fucking with him
I'm
about.
not going to debate him. I won't debate. I'm done.
You're very sympathetic to Hamas, and you're very sympathetic to the Iranians.
No, I never mentioned Hamas. Did I mention that? I said Palestinians. Now, if you look, Hamas is not all the Palestinians. Palestinians is
they're
the whole people.
Indoctrinated from birth.
There's Palestinians who hate Hamas. Hamas is just what we call a terrorist organization, or the armed wing. They are not the whole Palestinians. There's the West Bank Palestinians under, what's his name? The other leader who hates Hamas.
Mahmoud Abbas.
Yes, Mahmoud Abbas was almost assassinated by Hamas. Hamas is still looking to kill him. And I'm on that side of the Palestinian. Yeah, and I might, listen, the truth to be told, I'm not supporting Palestinians. Come on, man. I'm just saying I don't like when one power is bullying a smaller minority in their country, a bit like what you did to the African Americans. All right, in a different
No, 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 no,
context.
no.
No,
I
no,
seem to
listen,
remember
let me
Israel was
finish.
attacked. So okay, okay. So when America set off the bombs on Hiroshima, the atomic bomb, was that wrong? Was that overkill? Was that too much? It stopped
Uh,
World War II.
no,
But
no, no, because the Japanese did a Pearl Harbor on you. They started
so
it.
it was a
They
sneak attack.
started it just like
Oh,
Israel
they
did a
started it.
just like Israel did a Pearl Harbor on Iran 12 days ago.
No,
Did
no,
you
no,
not
no, no, no.
know?
I seem to remember on October 7th, fucking Hamas fucking flew on fucking
I said
gliders and shit.
Iran.
Huh?
I said 12 days ago, Israel did a Pearl Harbor on a country and a people that did not do October 7th. They did a
They've done
Pearl
enough.
Harbor.
Do you know how
Do
many
you,
Americans Iran has killed? Do you know that they were sneaking around and enriching uranium past 60%, trying to get to 92% to fucking purify it enough to get the bomb? And they
yeah,
weren't
but
letting
they're not.
people investigate. What were they going to do with a fucking 60% enriched uranium? And they're hiding it. Well, what the fuck's up with that?
Okay,
300 feet on the ground for what? That doesn't
fair
sound like a
enough.
fucking, we had to do it. They had to do it. It's enough. They've been waiting fucking
Yeah,
30 years to do this shit. They've been pussyfooting around. We tried diplomacy. They don't understand diplomacy. You got to hit these cocksuckers hard. That's why when you take the fucking dictators away, they don't know what to do. They all join fucking Islamic Jihad, you know? Blowing shit up because they need the lash. They need the whip. That's the only thing they understand is firmness.
okay.
That's the way they are in
I'll
that
give you
region,
I'll give you
you
another
know?
analogy. What did you do to the Mexicans down there? You ripped off half their land. You took off. You
No, no, no,
stole
no. We
Los
bought that land.
Angeles.
Go look it up. We bought that land. And we fought a battle too. We shed blood for that land too, for some of it, and other parts of like
Well,
California and all that other shit. We bought that shit. They sold that shit for $10 million. California, fuck them. All right, that's our shit. All right, we should
okay.
have took more. We should have
What
took
about
more.
Texas? What about Texas? Couldn't you
Texas,
steal that off
Texas
the
was
Mexicans?
independent. They fought for their own shit from Mexico to break off, and then they
Yeah, I
became
know
part of
Houston.
us.
I know Mr. Houston and that. I know my history on the Alamo and that. But what
That
about
poor
poor old
fucking Davy
Pancho
Crockett
Villa?
died for what? What did Davy Crockett die for? And then we just let them invade. David Crockett's turning over in his fucking grave with that fucking raccoon hat on his head.
Yeah, but what I mean is, America doesn't have clean hands. In fact, you've expanded. You've wiped out the American Indian. He's nothing but a few reservations left. He's almost extinct. But you can find him in the museum if you want to see him. He's stuffed. They've stuffed him like a taxidermist. He's in there.
Oh, that poor
Yeah.
bastard.
Poor Red Indian, huh? Yeah, but anyway, I love you, Gunsmoke. But I like
No,
threshing
we
it
love you
out.
too. No, we love you too over here.
You know
Don't
what
ever
I like
think
about
different.
you?
What?
You know what I like about you? You treat me with respect, even though I've given you a completely opposite and contrarian view.
Yeah.
You treat me with respect, and
No, I do respect
that's
it.
I
Yeah.
take my hat off to you, mate. I really
No,
do.
no, we
I'm
love you over
serious
here.
here. I do play the clown a bit, but I'm serious when I say that. With
I
the
appreciate the
greatest of
banter
respect.
back and forth. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah, no, I like it because you can take it. Anyone
it.
else would have gone bananas.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
they would
I
have
learned
kicked me
long
off.
ago to not get riled
Yeah,
up about
okay,
politics. I
yeah,
still get
okay.
angry,
So
but
yeah. Okay, yeah, because anyone else would have blocked me after the first sentence.
yeah,
I would have
no,
said,
no, no, no. We
you
love
know
you
what I
over here.
mean? No, that's
No, we're
good.
not gonna treat you
Well,
like
that's
that.
what
No.
you need. That's
Yeah.
what you need. Hey, I've noticed sometimes, like the other day, you say, "Oh, where's all the people?" Sometimes you might be, but you know what I've noticed?
What?
The channels that hate on each other and have got every day there's a fucking something, that's, yeah, of course they're going to get their 100 viewers consistently, but that's at the risk of being, you know what I mean, really something bad like assaulting people or this or screaming hate, but I'm not mentioning anyone. I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general. So nothing specific. But yeah, they of course they're going to get it. But so be proud. You don't need to bloody get 150 people every time just because because you treat everyone. I don't see hate coming from you. Oh, so far, I've only been following you for 3 weeks. I've never seen you actually go crazy or
I've
bananas at
I
anyone.
in the past when I've been attacked, there's points here and there where I've been nasty, and
Okay,
I've
okay, I never
expressed
knew
regret for
that.
that. Yeah, but
Okay, I never
that was
knew
a
that.
different era
No,
and time in this fucking genre. That was a few years back, and for the past couple
okay,
years now, 2 3 years, we haven't
yeah,
behaved that way no more. We try not to
okay,
get nasty with people, even if they attack me, I
yeah,
just ignore
yeah,
it. And
yeah,
I'm not
okay,
going. I'm
yeah,
tired
yeah.
of
I
the
know
back
what
and
you
forth
mean.
with these fucking lunatics.
Yeah,
So
but these days I've noticed the more controversial what you are, that's where you get the
that's where you get
numbers
the
up. But
views and the
yeah, the
donations. Yeah,
views exactly. You
I'm
really got to
fucking
be.
myself here, but
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those. What do you do?
yeah.
What
Do
do
I
you
need
do?
the
What do you do?
aggravation?
Like
I need the
they
money, but do
say.
I need the aggravation?
No, exactly. I'd rather have a go to bed at night and have a good sleep. I
Yeah,
did a good program. People left as friends rather than people. Are leaving you. You close the program with fucking people hating
yeah.
really nasty stuff. And how can you
Nasty
sleep?
shit. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah,
Every
exactly.
fucking day
Yeah.
you're plotting, thinking about new shit to do, how to attack somebody, or what. It's
Exactly.
just
Or
disgusting, man.
someone, driving up to pull up your front door or something for some sort of reason. That's crazy stuff.
Well, that's how it
Uh,
ends up eventually.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes. A couple
Has
weeks ago,
anyone
a
heard
fucking
from?
YouTuber got murdered. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, in Las
Remember
Vegas, I
that?
saw that.
Yeah, you
My,
remember that? Him
what
and
was
his
it? A
wife. Yeah.
Mexican, and a Mexican guy and an African American guy.
Yeah. And they were beefing
Yeah,
on
those are
YouTube for months or years, whatever.
yeah, those Mexicans. I don't want to generalize, but man, if they feel insulted, man, they don't fuck around. They don't think about the consequences. For them, going to jail is an honor, isn't
Yeah.
it? For a
Mis bolas
lifetime.
grande. No, they love going to jail. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've noticed. I've noticed. Yeah,
Mis
yeah.
bolas
Where
grande.
whereas human nature is you should avoid jail at all costs, especially when it's more than 5 years. It's just not in human nature. And that's why when it comes to this is probably the only time I'll dip into a bit of mob stuff. When it comes into people where they slowly turn, they might in the beginning no, but then they view they're all alone and they're facing 20 years or 25 years. You can't blame them. It's human nature to self-preservation to say fuck this. No one's going to go and throw few dollars every week to my mother or my girlfriend or my daughter. I'm alone now. I'm looking at 20 years that I might not even survive. Just going into jail is every day a battlefield. Every day is a battlefield. You've got to have 20 eyes around your head. So you can't blame. That's why you'll never see me bring up the words rats, 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 because it's human nature to avoid that at all costs. Even when you've got good intentions, you want to make sure you live to the code. But the smart ones, and I say that without not lightly, the smart ones say, you know what, fuck this. I'll take care of, look after myself. And if this is the
Self-preservation.
deal, if this is the deal they're going to give me, and give me 5 years instead of 25 years, you better to take it. And I won't go into further how I know about these things. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes, the smart ones take it. Now, having said that, on the other side of the coin, but this is a 2% out of 100%, or maybe 5%. We want to be generous. 5% don't take, and they'll go. They become the Joey Molinos or the John Gotti Senior. They refuse. They're the last of the.
The
They're the last of
Mohicans.
those. Yeah, or you could say that, or the last of those old type of that went back 500 years or Merta. Most people, they don't. They're probably smart enough to take a deal, if you ask me. But you got to respect those who don't.
You know,
The
fucking
5%.
deals.
The
Yeah.
5% who don't, you got to honor them as real men, like the Joey Molino and the John Gotti Senior. Men that we cannot measure, even myself. You cannot, because if I was on the other
Can't
side
measure
of the
him. He's
fence,
5'3".
if I was
Yeah.
on the other side of the fence, I'd want to take my fucking deal early, quick, because the earlier you take it, the better deal you get.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be there to
No.
you
But
know,
yeah, well, he only got like
yeah,
sentenced to 2 years, and maybe the longest bid he did was like 10 years. Every other thing was some bullshit gambling charge or some bullshit fucking
yeah,
petroleum jelly charge or some shit, whatever the fuck he was doing. Fucking,
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
bullshit
people are
gambling shit.
facing. Yeah, I'm talking about people that are facing, say, 15 years or more.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah.
talking. That's when I mean, if you're getting 5 or less, just fucking don't talk. Take it on the chin and do your time. You'll be out. You should be all right. Don't fuck around in the system and
Let's see
don't
Merlino
make
do
any.
30 years at his age now.
Yeah. But when you're getting more than 15 or I'd
Motherfucker.
say 20 onwards, man, if you're gonna get a deal, take it. Don't go and do your time for no one, man. Because in the end, they're not gonna give a fuck about you, ex-friends or whatever. Very few do,
You
but
don't think
like I
the guys
said,
at the cheesesteak would miss Merlino if he was sent away? You don't think
uh,
Snuff would miss him at the cheesesteak factory down there in Philly?
of course, yeah,
We
but
miss
but
you,
but Joey
Joe.
Molino's not in any life anymore. I don't know. I know it makes good talking points on the shows that he's a boss still. None of them are. None of them are. Once you do time like that, you don't go and do a podcast and run a public cheesesteak. You'd be keeping low profile if you're still running a family. That's for sure. He's not, obviously. Just his reputation precedes him and it makes it look like, oh, he must be, he's still staunch. No, he's just an average Joe man who loves a gamble. This is what I see. And same with I don't want to mention because I don't want to bring up family members of my good friend, just like the other brother as well, just enjoying his twilight years. He's not fucking running around trying to run an organised crime unit. Nah, they've been there, done that, man. But like I
He's not
said,
affiliated.
no one is these days. That's for people under 50, man. Under 50 who still got, blood, hot blood running in their veins who want to do that stuff. Not people who've passed 50, man. They want to, they've learned, the meaning of life. The meaning of life, man, is not to go make an extra few dollars and it's about enjoying what little you have and being free. There's nothing more important than freedom, man.
Yeah,
Nothing more
but
important.
he told Gene Barello, "Hey, come on down, motherfucker. Come down, motherfucker.
No,
Come
yeah,
here.
but
Come here, motherfucker."
but
So was he
but
going to
that's
handle it
not
himself, or was he
but
affiliated with somebody? Handle it.
that's not him. But that's not him talking as a mobster. That's just him saying, you wanna do something. You wanna insult Snuff? Come here and see me. That's nothing to do with organized crime or a boss or someone in
Huh?
the life.
Who's going to
No, it's
handle it?
just
Who's going to handle Gene? Gene's a big guy.
Gene's
Merlino's
a
only
big
five foot
guy.
three.
Exactly. I mean,
Who's
listen,
going to handle
I'm
Gene?
closer to Joey's age than Gene's. Of course, Gene on a 1-to-1. I mean, you don't have to. So yeah, I do think Joey's a bit silly, but I think he knows Gene's not going to do nothing. You know what would happen? This is what I predict. If he showed up, you know what? After 5-10 minutes of shouting at each other, they'll sit down and have a beer and a cheesesteak together. I guarantee you. And Joey will say, "Well, you know what?
That can't happen.
You might have been a rat, but because you showed up as a man and you didn't throw
Yeah.
this, because you showed up as a man and you didn't swing, You just wanted to say a few. I'll grant you respect for that. Sit down. My boys will bring you a nice cheesesteak. You want a beer,
Yeah,
and off
rat
you go.
poisoning.
That's what will happen. That's what will
No,
happen.
no, that can't
I
happen.
guarantee you.
Could you imagine Snuff's face while he's saying that shit? Yeah, motherfucker, I give you credit for coming down
It's
here.
enough. I'm
We're gonna give you a free cheesesteak and all. It was nice seeing you. What the fuck?
playing out of his league. He's got to bit because what he reminds me of is the big cartoon, the old cartoon that I used to see in Australia. There was the big bulldog and then there was the little chihuahua behind, and it was and rather than the big dog Butch. You know, and that's what he reminded me of. But he's a good kid, you know, aside from that. You know, he's more a money maker, more like a manager for Joey, telling him, you know, this is what good say this, it's good business. It gets views, it gets eyeballs, you know, he's like that. What do you expect? An ex-car salesman. They know their business. Anyway, listen, I'm going to say out of yours, common sense. Come on, my son. Jump on so I can hear your pearls of wisdom. I love to hear a few pearls of wisdom, son.
Like the Republican response, like, you know, when they do the State of
The
the Union.
Republican response.
And
but don't go heavy on me when I said that about Israel's apartheid.
it's
I'm
coming.
just throwing it out there.
No.
I'm just throwing it out there. Common sense. I'm just throwing it out there, playing devil's advocate. I'm not supporting the Palestinians. I just want them to have I just want them to have a fair go. A fair go like we all are people, aren't we all human beings?
I mean, I would like that too. I'd like for them to live side by side. Yeah, I'd like for them to have a two-state solution, but that's not happening.
Israel has to slightly change its ways.
You understand that throughout history, civilizations have clashed with each other. And whoever loses the battle, the winner takes their land, and then the other culture disappears. Unfortunately, it's a horrible, brutal part of human nature. It's horrible. That's why war sucks. That's why you try diplomacy over and over again. They've been trying for fucking 30 years at least or more.
Hey, you're right. Listen, I'll leave you with this. In the animal world, those rules still apply. Yeah. It's dog eat dog. It's dog eat dog. Have you noticed? Listen, this is a good example because they're not silly when you what's it called? Compare it. When you see the male lions, have you noticed when they take over another male lion's pride? It's usually 2-3 male lions control another 20 lionesses and all the cubs to go with it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, when 3 new stranger males or 2, or usually if it's a big bunch, it's 4 or 5 sometimes, but it's usually 3. When they take over and they defeat the other 3 male lions, what do they do? I suppose you've seen it. Anyone can look it up in wildlife documentaries. They kill the young cubs first. They kill the young cubs first. So let's say those 20 lionesses have got, say, 12 young cubs, 2 of each mother, whatever, or say 12. The first thing they do, and you think, what the hell? How cruel. But that's the real world in the animal kingdom.
Only his lineage continues on.
Yes. What they do is they kill, as soon as they defeat those 3 lions, the male lions of that pride, they might kill 2. The third one will run for his life and disappear. He knows everything's lost. My kingdom is lost. And what do those 3 women lions do? They kill the cubs. They literally look for them and just swing them in their mouth until they die and they become, and then that brings the females into estrogen, into heat. They breed with them and they produce their own kin, their own cubs. And this is, you could say, similar in the country versus country years ago. We're not that uncivilized anymore, but it was like that too. Tribes.
That's an odd. No, I get it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's a natural law.
True. It's sad, but it's true. And same with other forms of animal life, they do that as well, it's sad, but it's true. You're right. All right, Gunsmoke. All right, everyone. God bless you all.
God bless you.
I'll have to leave you with the famous Australian, the man. You can all Google him if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's just Google the Chinese succulent meal man. The Chinese succulent meal man, it'll come up. The famous Jack Carlson. And as they were pulling him in the car, the cops, there were 2 cops pulling him by the feet while the other 2 were shoving him in the back door. And he said, ta-ta and farewell. Good night.
Later, Tony. Ta-ta. Holy shit. Yo, Tadio, thank you, brother. And DL, Thank you very much. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Thank you. Thank God. It's been rough the past couple of nights. It's been rough. It's a slow grind. A slow grind. The Chinese succulent meal guy called the police on himself because Buick sat down at the table next to him. Good God! Somebody call the police! I cannot bear this any longer. I will not bear it. Call the police. I'm trying to enjoy my succulent meal. You got this buffoon speaking loudly into his phone? He sounds like he's ready to receive my limp penis. Maybe I should give him a smack. Yo, yo, yo.
What up, man?
What up, man?
Clear.
How'd you like that?
My man, Tony Buick.
Yeah.
My dude.
My dude.
My dude. Where's my dude, man? He's been
I
missing
don't know,
ever since he ran through in the head towels.
In the what? Into the head towels?
Yeah, they threw their head towels in. They got a ceasefire. They're begging
Yeah.
already.
No, they were talking tough though, but then behind the scenes, I guess they're trying to make a ceasefire. So we'll see what happens.
I'll show you a text that I sent earlier, right after I heard that bullshit about them sending the missile strikes to the base in Qatar.
Uh huh.
To show you that I'm telling you exactly what actually was going on before it even comes out, because you can see right through this shit.
Yeah.
All they were doing, that was all theater right there. That was all
Mhm.
theater for their people and shit. They had no intentions to get any of the missiles to land on that fucking base and do anything to anybody.
No, they did like they did last time. They called ahead of
It was
time
a
and let them
bluff.
know. It's just a show of like, we did something in return. We didn't let it go without any
Exactly.
response. But they knew like they
Exactly.
didn't want to, poke the bear and fuck around.
Of course not, man. Listen, after what we did to them nuclear fucking sites in Iran, you better believe Russia and China got their fucking dicks in their stomachs right now. Like, holy shit, how the fuck did they pull this off?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the people now, somebody was talking about, who's it, Jane Creek or whatever, talking about Tulsi Gabbard told them that they didn't have uranium or nuclear weapons there in
That's
Iran.
a
Like, what
talking
the
point.
fuck?
She clarified herself, said that wasn't the whole they only took a piece of what she said. She actually continued on and said, they are
She
most
said,
likely looking to get nuclear weapons. Some
yeah,
shit
she
like that.
said right after they took a piece of what she said. First of all, they took a piece of what she said, and they also took out the portion where she says that they didn't restart their nuclear program and that they were within weeks of having weapons grade uranium. They were enriched over at I think like 60 something percent, and you need about 90 in order to have weapons grade uranium. And the people on here are like, oh, listen to what Andrew Napolitano said about the nuclear program. They proved that it was all a lie by the fucking Mossad and all this shit. Oh my fucking god, the fucking Ayatollah, the prime minister, and the head nuclear scientist for fucking Iran literally went on fucking and did interviews talking about the centrifuges that they're running and the enrichment program that they have, and that they're not allowing the inspectors in there. And didn't they just say before the strikes that they moved the uranium out of the nuclear sites? So do
Yeah.
they or
So
do they not have fucking uranium then?
yeah. So
They admitted
they're
it.
still playing games. Yeah.
Exactly. At the very least, they're still playing fucking games, regardless of the fact they're not letting the fucking inspectors in there. And the last time the inspectors were there, they had like 30% enriched uranium at that time. It was like a while back since they let them in. So obviously, when you're running centrifuges, you have to constantly enrich the uranium in the centrifuges and get the gases out until you can bring it all the way up to the stable isotope. I think it's like uranium like 238 or something is what they need. And they're at like, 190 something, whatever the fuck it is.
And then you got these assholes that say, "Oh, they were 7 months to a year away from getting the
Not
buck."
weeks.
Well,
They were weeks
we've been
away.
trying diplomacy for fucking 30 years. Why would you wait till the last minute to keep letting them stall you out? And that's an estimate. You don't know what they could have it in 6 months, 5 months, 2 months. You don't
Well,
fucking know.
once you go from the regular once you go from the regular element of uranium and you enrich it up to past 3% to 20 to 30%, once you hit 60%, it doesn't take long for you to get the 90. It's a
And what are
real
they
big
doing that for? Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It's a real big leap to get from regular uranium, stable uranium, to get it into the point where it's 60%. That's a huge thing. But to get it from 60 to 90 is like getting it from fucking 0 to 3.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get from 60
It's
to 90 than it is to get from 0 to 60.
it's easier to get it from 0 to fucking 3 because you need the equipment, the centrifuges, and the know-how and process and the places to be able to even do it. And they had 3 different facilities fucking where they're doing this shit.
And that fuck Medvedev, the former president of Russia for 4 years,
Yeah.
he basically said yesterday, admitting that Iran was looking to get the nuclear bombs. Now he says we don't have to hide it anymore. Now we'll just give it to them directly.
Yeah, that's coming from him. But Putin also went and just had I don't know, interview meeting, whatever the fuck you want to say, and
Yeah.
that he was openly, condemning, the provocation that the United States has, but he has no plans on supporting or backing up fucking Iran, and neither does
Okay,
China.
good. Okay.
Bro, they're not doing shit, man. Trust me, bro. I said this on your show, fucking what? Couple
Because he
days
knows
ago?
that's World War III, because Trump's not backing down. See, now they respect Trump again. They had to get reminded. Every once in a while, you got to remind them,
Sometimes you gotta walk softly and carry a big stick, man, like my boy Teddy Roosevelt said.
Somebody said I sound like Dick Cheney. Thank you, Danny.
That's all right.
U.S.
I just,
intelligence was saying Iran wasn't trying to get a nuke. The nukes were just a cover.
yeah, okay.
Then what are we
So
asking
why?
for a
So why?
ceasefire for then? Why
So
not just take them out?
this is what I'm trying to say. This is the whole thing, right? Israel's goal is to get a regime change. They want the Ayatollah and the whole regime, the whole government in fucking Iran to get taken over and restarted and shit, right?
Yeah.
The U.S. doesn't care about regime change or none of that shit. They just cared about the nuclear weapons. We went in there and handled that issue. The shit going on between these two has been going on for fucking hundreds of years, thousands of years between the Jews and the Palestinians and the Arabs and shit out there. That ain't nothing fucking we're even getting involved in. They could figure that shit the fuck out. And then, Jane wanted to quote Napolitano talking about they didn't have nuclear weapons, whatever. Well, what about the fact that these people are saying that Trump needs to get impeached? He needed to ask Congress. He violated international law. Well, Napolitano, the same guy that they're quoting about this shit, said exactly what I told you the other day, where Trump doesn't need to get Congress in order to take military action against the self-interest and self-defense of our country and our military and our allies, domestic and abroad. So they pick and choose what parts they want to use and repeat and say and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit. Don't fucking pick and choose. Tell the whole fucking story.
Yeah. No, but Jane
That's
says.
why I
Yeah.
hate talking about that shit. 'Cause it's so fucking annoying, man. Listening to these people, dude. I swear to fucking God, dude. It's really fucking. I want to bang my head into a fucking wall.
BB has been singing that same song since the 80s. Iran is months away from getting a nuke. Iran is months away from getting a nuke. Iran is months away. I understand that, but maybe it's like the boy who cried wolf. Maybe this time it really was about to happen. After Iran, why not? Why wouldn't Iran do it after what they've seen happen to Hezbollah, fucking
But here's the
Hamas,
difference,
the
though.
Houthis? Yeah.
Here's the difference, though. You're talking about a time period in which the U.S. was in a fight with Russia and shit right outside the times of the Cold War and shit, when these guys had a nuclear arms race, basically, and that's where the whole, nuclear convention and agency came up to stop the production of nuclear weapons and limited each, country that already had them to stop it at X amount. Was an agreement that they all had, right? Now, we're talking about the time in the 80s and shit. Yeah, Iran was probably trying to get their hands on nuclear weapons, meaning that they were going to buy them from a country that had them, like Russia, per se, right? Now, they have their own facilities and centrifuges where they're making it and producing the shit themselves, so they don't need to get it from anybody fucking else. There's a big fucking difference here. Just like Kim Jong-un trying to get, nuclear weapons and these other people trying to fucking do them and shit. They shouldn't even be allowed to be doing any of that shit to even get to that point to begin with.
No,
they shouldn't even have gotten this fucking far.
No. We had idiot fucking leaders 50, 60 years ago. Morons.
Well, we had an idiot leader in office for the last 4 years that gave Iran all their fucking money back and allowed them to pick back up with their nuclear program because he wasn't on their ass. Yeah, because he wasn't on their ass, making sure the inspectors were in there and having an open dialogue and shit about what the fuck they were actually doing over there. He could have cared less.
This had to happen, unfortunately. It should have happened a long time ago. Kamala would have never done it, I don't think. But
Well, where are all the people that were talking all this shit saying World War III was starting? These guys are already begging for a fucking ceasefire 12 hours later. I mean,
oh,
come
that
on.
was yesterday. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give me a break, man. Well, yeah, that's what it is. Oh, that was yesterday. So you know what I mean? So it's like then don't even talk because tomorrow's gonna be something different. Then what's the point of talking about it? That's why I hate fucking even talking about this shit because people on here are fucking crazy. Well, not just on here, but people in life
Yeah.
in general are just fucking crazy. You know?
Every day it's a new complaint. Yeah.
If they don't like somebody, they'll come up with every excuse in the or you know not every excuse in the world, but you
Yeah.
know if they like someone, they'll come up with every excuse in the world, and if they don't like someone, they'll believe everything that they fucking hear about the fucking person and think it's true. We see it on here happen all the time. Do we not?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess it's just human nature. I guess
It's
people are
unfortunate.
assholes.
Yeah, it's
It is
unfortunate.
unfortunate. And some of these wackos have the fucking. They're in Congress, so they have the right to vote or whatever.
Here to the governors,
Yeah. No, it's a
fucking
fucking.
senators.
It's a major problem, man. I don't know how you could stop it. I don't know.
Well, the way you can stop it is you have a government like ours that has checks and balances and shit, where they don't have one person like the Ayatollahs or the Kim Jong Un, the supreme leader, that can wave their finger and get whatever they want done, or they'll kill everybody. Luckily, we don't have that here.
Yeah.
It's called a democracy in a government with checks and balances and shit that was set up for a fucking reason. So they can't get away with shit like that. But then you got to deal with people in other countries that don't have that, and you got to fucking keep them in line. Unfortunately, you got to govern them,
Yeah. That's the only
and
thing
that's
they
what happened.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, they only understand, war and fucking destruction and threats and shit. All right, well, we're not just gonna threaten you anymore. We're gonna start blowing some shit up. Then maybe you fucking come to your senses.
Well,
Stop
now
talking
they
crazy.
respect Trump again. Yeah, because they know Trump's crazy enough to do it. They had to remind them. They forgot. It's been a few
Yeah,
years, so you had to wake them
somebody had
up.
to do something.
Basically, yeah.
And Russia got their own problems. They can't even fucking win a war in fucking Ukraine and shit. They think they want to fucking fight a World War III. They're a fucking mess over there.
They're just talking shit. They got a lot of nerve too, trying we must have a ceasefire now. Like, worry about your own fucking ceasefire, asshole. Don't worry about what's going on over here. You got your own fucking mess that you started over there. Fucking hypocrite. Shut the fuck up, Putin. That's another
Yeah, well,
fucking creep.
that's the
Yeah.
other thing. I mean, that guy was doing so good in a war against fucking Ukraine, who didn't even own a fucking fighter jet. They didn't even have an airplane. They had no air force. They had no planes, and they can't even win a war over there. They had to get North Koreans to come in as fucking backup and shit.
Yeah.
We're supposed to take these guys fucking serious. The
No,
only
all
reason
these
we
guys
do
are
is because
paper
they got
tigers.
nukes.
Yeah, that's the only reason. And they should have never had that. They
And
should have
then
never
what?
had those nukes, man. They
So
wouldn't
what do
be
you?
shit without them.
Yeah. So what do you think Iran's gonna do when they get their hands on a fucking nuke? They ain't gonna be making threats, talking crazy, invading fucking
Exactly.
Israel or other places
Oh
around
yeah.
there.
They were gonna stall us out until they got the bomb, and then it's fuck you. Then they're
And then
aiming
they're
it at
gonna make big
everybody,
threats.
and you
Yeah.
can't do nothing to them unless you want to start a nuclear
That's
war.
that's why
Yeah.
that shit had to get fucking shut down. Period. That's
Yeah.
it. As simple as that.
You
And
can't
now
play
look at
around with that shit.
and now look, how come after the nuclear facilities got fucking blown up, they ain't talking that crazy shit no more? How come?
Oh yeah. Now I want to hear how they're gonna start talking now. The
It's
regime.
no more death to
Yeah,
America
it
and
better
death
not
to the
be.
Jews and shit. They ain't
Yeah.
talking that shit no more, huh? They're talking
We'll
about
see.
ceasefires and fucking
It's a long summer, and if they're
baby
hiding
missiles.
uranium, we might have to send more missiles up their ass.
Nah,
But
they're not hiding. They're not hiding. Listen, the fucking you did you see the video that the Mossad leaked like a week or so before the strikes on the nuclear facilities, the job that they did over there?
maybe.
The fucking Mossad for the first time leaked a video of the inside of them smuggling in all the weapons and bombs that they used to destroy all the air defense systems and all the fucking nuclear and military sites and shit, so they could plot that attack that they did before we finished the job basically. So
Yeah.
the Mossad, they're the number one spy agency in the fucking world. Basically, they have people inside all these governments all over the Middle East, everywhere. And they're the ones that are coming out, telling us the information about what's going on in there because they have people working in the government. They're spies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
they
I just
showed a
read that last
video.
night.
Yeah, they showed a video inside Iran of them smuggling in weapons and shit that they used to carry out those attacks on all these places. There's like 100 different sites that they had lined up.
Bro, all their forces, the powerful revolutionary forces, the Kurds and all that shit, they're all infiltrated by Mossad. Even their generals are working with
They have
Mossad,
they have no idea.
and they don't
Those
know
guys
who
are
it
no
is.
joke. Yeah,
Yeah,
they have no idea. Hmm.
they've got a lot of unsolved shit going on that they can't figure out for years now. They can't figure out how the Israelis are doing it.
Yeah, but then you get the anti-Semites and the people that call them the Zionists and say that they're purveyors of terrorism and shit because they're trying to protect themselves against whatever, and they're looked at
Yeah.
as warmongers and that we're just caving in and doing whatever Israel wants or whatever. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. If we were doing whatever they wanted, we would have taken them out 30 years ago. They've been wanting
Yeah.
to get rid of them for a long time, have they not?
Oh yeah.
So if we're their puppet, how come we're just doing this shit now? It's just, it doesn't make any sense, man. I don't know what's wrong with people, man. I don't get it.
No.
I don't get it.
Just anti-American sentiment lately in this country. The past decade or so, very anti-American. Everything's identity-based, and
I want to know what happens. Let's say, God forbid, there's another 9/11. These guys do have these, sleeper cells or terrorists that they snuck in over the last, 4, 10 years, however long it's been. They got them here ready to strike and do something. Are these people going to come together and support our government and our president? And when we need to defend ourselves against another terrorist attack on our soil, possibly? Or are we going to be fighting and arguing about fucking who said what and whose fucking fat wife got plugged or something? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
no, they'll be waving the communist flags. They'll be waving whatever flag who's invaded us. They'll wave their flag.
Yeah, that's what they're
welcome
doing
them
out in
in.
California right now.
Yeah.
That's what they're
They'll
doing
wave
out there
them
with
right
the
in.
ICE people and shit,
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, man. I never seen nothing like it. It's like the whole thing is fucking ass backwards. Then you got that idiot AOC. Oh my god, this broad's got to be one of the dumbest fucking broads ever elected into office. Holy shit, she's
Yeah.
stupid.
I don't even know how she gets reelected every time. I have no idea. She must be some screwy going on. I mean,
The shit that comes out of her mouth is
her district
unbelievable.
sucks too. Her district has like some of the highest crime in my borough.
Unbelievable.
Thank you,
man.
Nightmare.
I don't know how this shit's even acceptable. I don't get it.
If we get hit, it will be by Mossad. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they're gonna strike us. Yeah. They're gonna try to do like a, who said that? I can only imagine.
I want to know where this is rooted from, though. Like, is this Hollywood shit that poison the minds of fucking the public on a massive scale?
It's the internet and the media. They're hate and disdain for one person. They'll come up and say whatever they want in order to destroy the guy and anybody that supports him. That's the bottom line.
Bro, shit. 25 years ago, bro, this people would never talk like this, bro. There was assholes that hated the country, but they were like a minor, weird, minute population.
Oh, Hollywood
people-
definitely plays a big part in it. You better believe that. The rhetoric
Yeah.
and shit like that, and the shit in the movies and the agenda, the TV and the
You
internet,
know how many
and all that
slave
shit.
movies Hollywood did in the past 20 years?
Oh,
Remember all
that's
those
the thing,
slave
too.
movies coming out?
Yeah, that's the thing too. The people on here earlier are talking about, the United States, like we're the fucking purveyors of slavery and racism and shit. Like this shit hasn't existed since the dawn of man. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know how many
Yeah.
people? The whole entire world was built based on fucking slaves. I don't care what epic of time or day and age that you're talking about. Everybody's had slaves. They still have slaves today in places.
In all
What the
colors
fuck
and
do you mean?
creeds.
Yeah, and not just black people too, like they like to put with American shit. There was fucking Chinese slaves here. There was Irish slaves, the immigrants. There was indentured servants. The English that came over here were slaves. Like, come on, man. I'm fucking sick and tired of hearing that shit. That's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Yeah, all these nations and shit across the last 5,000-6,000 years and shit were all built and nobody had a slave or used racism or
How come nobody's mad at
religious
Egypt?
Come on.
Yeah. Remember
That's
all the
what
slaves they hit? What the fuck?
Oh well, Jane told me earlier. I didn't know this and shit, but those the Egyptians, the pyramids, they weren't built by slaves. They got paid.
Well, the people who built the pyramids supposedly were paid, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
they
the
got
fuck knows?
fucking they got food and water and shit. Yeah. Come on. They don't even know how the pyramids were built. Now they're gonna tell you how they got paid to build it. Let's talk about this fact, okay? Let's talk about the fact that on every single hieroglyph on those pyramids and in any place in ancient Egypt, not one of them, there's not one hieroglyph that is showing you them constructing the fucking pyramids. Them shits were already there when those motherfuckers got there.
Yeah.
They didn't have the tools to build or construct those fucking pyramids. It's proven. They were fucking bronze. It was the Bronze Age, copper tools and shit. They couldn't cut them granite slabs. They couldn't drill the fucking holes in there. And the pyramids, there's books that talk about it. They got taken out. What was it? The Library of Alexandria or whatever. There was
Yeah,
stuff that got when it got burned and taken down. There was stuff in there that would document and spoke about how these things were already existed there long before these guys got there. And the pharaoh at the time just acted like he's the one that did it because they probably killed and got rid of everybody that was there originally. Just like they do with all the history books when the winners win. You ain't gonna find out what happened to the guys they killed. They ain't around to tell you the story.
yeah.
They don't even know who built the fucking pyramids. You're gonna tell me that they know that they got paid to build them and shit. There's no proof they even did it. How about that?
Um, Creek said, "Funny how you Trumpanzees spent 4 years complaining and chimping out about Biden and Democrats, but no one accused you of hating America. But the point is, you guys, well, not you guys, not you, but Democrats, liberals, they have a very anti-American agenda. They're very supportive of terrorist groups now, and everything's racial identity.
Very
Keep talking about
sympathetic,
race.
sympathetic to them
It
too.
seems like you hate America, burning the American flag, flying other nations' flags, destroying public property. I mean, you care more for illegal immigrants. How come nobody's crying about the 75,000 people that are homeless, Americans that are homeless, shitting in the street, living in a tent in front of a store, all lined up and down for fucking miles and
Well,
miles
well, let's ask
in
a question right
California?
now. Let's take Trump out of the equation and say Biden was the president, and they just did this in Iran and shit. What would these people be saying right now? I bet they'd be cheering the motherfucker on.
Oh yeah, they would say, yeah, it had to be done. This
It
and
had to
that.
be done, yeah, because it's Trump's administration and Trump did it, and they don't like him.
He's
They
a
lied
dictator.
about it. He's
Yeah.
a dictator. He's bending the knee to fucking Israel and shit. If Biden went and did any of this, they'd be praising the motherfucker, calling him the greatest president in history. It was a long time overdue, giving him a trophy and shit. The fuck out of here.
Shit.
And I said before, people got some shit fucked up and think that I'm like some fucking forever Trump or some MAGA fucking whatever and shit. No, no, no. I just like to support shit that I think is fucking right. That's all it is. And
How
I don't support shit that's not fucking right. That's the bottom line.
I understand people don't like the way he talks. Sometimes he comes
He's
off
an
like a
idiot.
buffoon.
He talks like a
But
moron
how
sometimes.
could you hate him though? How could you fucking hate this guy after all that you've seen? You know,
Because
usually
these people
Americans
got
used
it
to
in
love
their
the
heads.
underdog, man.
They've been convinced that the shit that they say about the guy from his political opponents that don't like him, that have a disdain for the guy personally and shit that they believe the shit they say about him is all true.
He made the biggest comeback in political history. I mean, it's really
Dude, look,
amazing what he came back from, all that he overcame.
all you have to do is look at somebody on here like the fucking diddler and shit with all the shit that we know and said about him, and people defend the guy and make up excuses for him, and then that'll explain to you why people do or don't like Trump or say what you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That's a prime example right there. That's all you have to look at.
cowed.
What else do you need to know?
Yeah,
You know,
Biden is a war criminal, and so is Obama. Try again, war criminal. I mean, was George Washington a war criminal too? Fucking Ulysses S. Grant, was he a fucking warmonger? What was it? A criminal, war criminal?
well, what's the latest? I heard these people talking about Trump's taking bribes from Qatar right now because he's supposed to be getting the Boeing 747B or
Oh
whatever,
my
which
god!
is first of all, it's not even fucking true. The whole thing that they're talking about right now isn't even fucking true.
Which he
The
gave to America. It's not even his. He said it's too big for him. He don't even want it.
It's
You
not
know?
even about being. Listen, this is the thing. It's not even about being too big. I'll explain this. All right, we're supposed to be getting our Air Force One is out of date right now, based on the standards and security of the Defense Department and shit like that, and the standards and security that they have. We were already in the progress of obtaining a new Air Force One, but it's not going to be ready until 2027 or 2028. Right. In
Yeah.
the meantime, Qatar was going to donate the same plane, which is the regulation for the one that they want now, because that's the new one that's like up to code and specs or whatever that they're going to be having built. They're going to donate the plane. And Trump said, okay, in the meanwhile, if we get it cleared, we can use that as the Air Force One in the intermediary time. And then at the end of my term, we'll put that plane into my presidential library, right? And he's going to be using it as a decommissioned plane, like as in like a museum piece to post it up there and people can get a tour of it and see what's on Air Force One and the plane that they have, et cetera, and shit, right? Well, you know what? You know who else they're not talking about that did the same fucking thing? Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He's got his fucking plane at his fucking museum down there. Where's it, in Texas or something like that? I think wherever the fuck it is.
Well, when
And
Trump does it, it's not okay.
Well, no, it's not okay. And then they said that, oh, he's going to be using it as he's going to be able to use this plane as a private citizen to travel around and shit like that. First of all, no, he's not. You know, second of all, the president, all their travel expenses, security and clearance to move from point A to point B is all covered by the government regardless. So it don't matter what fucking plane he's using for travel. The government's going to pay for it for the rest of his life anyways.
It's not even practical for one guy to have a plane that big. He doesn't need that after he's not president anymore. He
It
doesn't need
makes
a
no
plane like that.
It doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. They don't pay for fucking travel and expenses. So why would he fly around on that thing when he could fly around on a fucking private jet or whatever other aircraft that the government clears him and the defense department clears him to fucking use and travel on?
Yeah,
They're the ones that are arrange all the guys traveling shit. He's protected by Secret Service for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? So why would he need to get a plane as a fucking bribe when he doesn't have to pay for travel using planes for the rest of his life? That's part of you being president when you're done. That's one of the perks I guess you would get. Is that it's all covered
they
by
just
our
hate
government.
that he has like that type of connection with those people out there. Like you know how Saudi and Qatar and
And
fucking
what the fuck do they need
Emirates
from us?
welcomed them, and
Those people are the people in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. They're the richest people in the world.
they
They're the
love
only
Trump.
they're the only people in the world that don't have to document how much money they have. And I honestly don't even think they know how much they have
That
because
was
it's that
nothing for
fucking
them to
much.
give that plane. That was nothing for them. That's a five
That's
hundred
like,
million dollar plane. They didn't give a
yeah,
fuck.
that's like me giving you a fucking rim off of my car because you blew your tire out and shit. And I said, hey, here, you can have our fucking rim and the tire and shit. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
taking bribes now, smoke. You know what I'm saying? Is that ridiculous?
And then let me just touch on this one. Jane said Trump is a war criminal. Before that, he was a lifelong criminal. Him and his children, with the exception of Barron and Tiffany, are scum. I seem to remember Hunter being a real scumbag.
Hunter was fucking trying
Where
to fuck his own
who
niece. That
yeah,
sick
he needed a
bastard.
pardon, smoking crack, strippers, denied the
Yeah,
paternity,
lying on gun
Barisma,
applications. Yeah, Barisma and
the shit
fucking
with the
Ukraine.
Chinese, yeah,
Oh
and
my
all a
god,
bunch of other shit. A bunch of other shit
Jane,
he
come
did
on,
too.
you can't. You can't
A
be
gun,
serious right now, Jane.
and
Come
you're
on.
gonna compare them to fucking Trump Jr. and Eric, who don't have any criminal charges that I remember, any
I
trials that
don't.
they were put on for fucking
Yeah,
tax eevasion and other shit.
I don't ever remember
How could you
the kids
say
getting
that?
indicted or convicted in a federal court for violating federal laws
You
and
can
then
only
getting
judge a
bailed
person on
out
their
by the.
record.
Come
Yeah,
on, that's
fucking.
the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. This is this is what I'm talking about. This is this is the insanity. This is why I don't even like to come on to discuss it because you got to hear shit like that. It's fucking nuts.
No, Hunter's definitely scum. You can't say that about Eric and Trump Jr.
The
unless they
guys
charge him with something and convict.
the guy
Yeah,
literally spent his last 20 years fucking violating the drug laws every day by going out and buying fucking crack. By the way, crack, you get caught with fucking 5 grams during the time you was smoking it. There's guys doing 50 years in the feds for shit like that.
bro. He
This
most
guy was
likely.
out smoking boulders. He's picking up fucking hookers and
Yeah,
prostitutes, nailing them on fucking video, recording this shit, probably without their knowledge. Second of all, then he gets he not only does this scumbag do that, but
oh
when his
yeah,
brother dies, he goes and gets with his fucking brother's wife,
wife,
his
the widow,
deceased fucking wife, the
the
widow's
widow.
fucking wife,
Yeah,
gets her hooked on crack, gets her start smoking crack, he gets her all fucked up on drugs,
and then
and then gets caught trying to fucking molest and do weird sexual shit with their fucking 12, 13-year-old daughter walking around naked at the house to the point where the family had to have a fucking intervention for him and not have him allowed around the fucking kids anymore, that weird fucking bastard, bro.
and
He
then
smoked his teeth.
no, and then he cheated on the widow with a
Oh,
stripper,
and knocked her
got
up.
her pregnant, and then
Yep.
denied paternity. She had to take him to court and
Had
get a
to take him to
DNA
court.
test.
Yep.
And then Sleepy Joe never accepted the kid. The kid's name is Navy, and he never accepted the kid. The kid's never invited to the family get-togethers and shit.
I never heard of fucking Donald Trump fucking taking showers with his fucking 8-year-old fucking grandkids and shit. That
No,
weird
they said he was
motherfucker.
in love with Ivanka. He wanted to bang Ivanka. They say
No,
because
whatever.
he used to say, "Look at my beautiful daughter. Isn't she so beautiful?"
What is he
That-
supposed to call her? Fucking ugly?
yeah, I guess so. Look,
Hey, look at my ugly daughter. Isn't she
nobody
fucking
said
hideous?
Chelsea Clinton was hot.
Yeah, well, if Bill went around saying, "Hey, look at my hot daughter," everybody would be like, "Bill's losing it. They gotta fucking impeach him. He's not capable of fucking being a president. The guy's lying about his own kid."
But yeah, Hunter's a scumbag. But so complain more about Biden and his fucking shenanigans and his fucking bullshit, and Hunter instead of fucking Eric and
Don Jr.
Eric Don Jr. who don't have any fucking criminal charges like that. You know what I'm saying?
And people seem to forget for some reason that, Biden's been a senator and in the government for his entire life, right? How the fuck did he make millions of dollars on a $180,000 a year salary, but he's worth fucking $60 million right now when he's never made more than 180 grand a day in his life? You don't think that he's fucking corrupt, taking bribes and kickbacks and getting away with fucking murder, literally? Come on, give me a fucking
They
break.
just said Nancy Pelosi just made out big with the stock market not recently. Supposedly over 200 something million.
Her and her husband are worth, I think, $750 million right now, based on the fact that when you're a senator, you have the carte blanche that you can't be violated for insider trading laws and shit like that. And they're the ones that know all about the mergers, the corporate mergers, the banks, the splits, everything. They get it before anybody because they're the ones that have to get this shit approved and cleared. And you can't persecute. If you did that or I did that and shit, we'd be in prison like they did to Martha fucking Stewart for insider trading. These people are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but they've been on government salaries and shit their entire fucking life. Now you explain that one to me. Who was it, Truman? Who was it, Truman, that had the quote that said, if you show me somebody who got into public works and left rich, I'll show you a crook. Wasn't that his quote?
Was that
about
him?
People that serve in the government that leave rich?
Yeah.
And he'll show you a crook. Well, those are all fucking the biggest crooks in the world right there.
And those are the woke jokes.
I mean, I just can't, like, how do you even fucking take these people seriously when they talk like this? They wonder why. Now I know how some people wind up fucking going nuts and fucking shooting some place up and shit because they're fucking just fed up with some fucking assholes fucking talking stupid.
You got to see MSNBC. It's nothing but a hate fest and division, and the way they talk about the president is so anti-American, man.
I don't watch any mainstream media at all, period. I don't watch fucking CNN, MSNBC, Fox. I don't watch none of that shit, dude. I don't believe fucking not damn near any one of those motherfuckers.
Hold
on.
I
look into shit for myself.
Tony Buick wants to say hi real quick. He's on the fucking ferry right now.
Tony, don't lie.
Come on, my man. Yes, you're on. You're on a roll, mate. I always love to hear your take on the situation. Yes.
What's going on, Buick?
Most of it I agree with. Yeah, have a look at this.
Goddamn.
What do you got?
Sorry if I can't hear your comment to reply because a bit the motor, the engines are running. Look at that big son of a bitch over there. Must be I think a gas container. Anyway, this is the Ocean Jet,
oil.
And
it's like an oil.
Look at a lot of beautiful women for running here. But yeah, what did you say, boys? I'll try and listen.
What the fuck are you on?
It's Komodo Island.
I'm on an island called, I'm in near a city called Bacolod City, and I'm heading to an island, not far, an hour and a half away, called Panay Island, and the city I'm heading to is called Iloilo City. I'm just getting away. Yeah, Iloilo City, and always change, but I always keep my same hotel. Like I just prepaid for an extra 3-4 days while I'm gone at that hotel where I am because I got all my things in there. I don't want them to be taken out just for the matter of 4 days. So it's only $22 a day or $20 a day.
Wow.
So what I do is I paid in advance 2 months worth, and even when I go to different islands, I still keep that room. So it's prepaid already. You know?
I got it.
So but now I'm gonna just change up a bit. And
feeling the guests at the hotel.
Yeah, sorry to disturb. I can hear you. Common sense. I love you, my friend. You're highly respected by me. Highly respected, son. No one else can give me jabs. Like when I first met you, I tried to find a knockout punch, but I couldn't. You were ducking too quick. You're throwing the body jabs into me. I couldn't catch you. You were bouncing off. But in the end, you got me with a couple of good fucking chin cuts. But in the end, we called it a draw. So ever since then, mate, I said I like this guy. He's hard to fucking knock out. You can't get him with fucking not easy, mate. It's like fighting Mike Tyson. Yeah, but anyway, hey, listen, bye, guys. I won't interrupt anymore. See you guys. Gotta head on. Let me get the women. The school teacher, God bless you. They're all Philippine women are so pretty. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. Farewell.
Later, brother.
Later, Tony.
He's getting
Safe
school
travels,
teacher
buddy.
pussy.
He's about to take down K through 6.
Oh, pause.
Oh yeah, pause. I meant the teachers, not the kids. God damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The teachers, damn it. The teachers. You ain't right, Smoke.
No, I'm fucking around. I'm stupid.
Gay Young said they're gonna drop him. They're telling him he's going to Elo, and they're gonna drop him off on a deserted island.
He's going to Epstein Island, DL says.
Oh shit! They're gonna drop him.
Ta-ta!
They're gonna
Yeah.
drop him off with those on Sentinel Island with them fucking uncontacted tribes over there, and he's give him a Bible and tell him like, "Hey, we'll pick you up in an hour." You ever seen that shit? That fucking guy that went over there,
No,
the missionary. You never seen that shit? The story about that guy?
no.
Oh my god, they got this. You know these fucking Christian missionaries, these lunatics that go down there with the fucking Bible. They want to contact these uncontacted.
Oh,
tribes
yeah.
like,
Oh, the
the
Sentinel
Amazon
Island,
and
right?
Sentinel
Yeah.
Islands, like off the coast of India or something. Like these
Yeah.
people.
I
Yeah,
remember
the
now.
guy, the fucking stupid asshole went down there and shit with his fucking Bible in hand, and they fucking put about 200 fucking arrows into him before he hit the beach.
And then they buried him
fucking-
on the beach, right?
I think they just fucking left him there, fucking with the arrows all sticking out of him, and should just left him there for everybody to see. I mean, these people were fucking shooting bows and arrows at the fucking the plane and shit flying by. They
Yeah.
thought it was probably a fucking UFO. They'd never seen nothing like that before. I'm sure.
That's crazy, man. There's still civilizations out there like that.
Well, there's a guy who was I was just watching it the other day. He was on a Joe Rogan show, and he's one of these like protectionists down in the Amazon for like the uncontacted tribes down there. And they thought for a long time there was only like maybe a dozen of these tribes left in the world. He says that there's fucking hundreds in the fucking Amazon and shit that have never even fucking seen people before. You know?
Yeah. The Amazon is
And,
huge. Yeah.
Oh, the Amazon, yeah. It's ridiculous. Forget about it. It's fucking millions and millions of square miles. Ridiculous. And none of it is even, been researched. Really, they don't even know what the fuck is in there. But these people are in there, and they've been living there for thousands of years. And you got these illegal loggers that are going down there that are trying to clear out the lumber and shit like that illegally and mine and get gold and resources, whatever they can out of there. And they're running into these people. And they're doing the same shit that they did to the Indians here in America and shit. They're giving them fucking, blankets infested with our germs and diseases and shit, wiping them out. And they're tricking them to like come into like the nearest town, which is like, 300 miles away. And then they're leaving them there and not giving them a ride back or telling them they need money to eat and shit like that. And the people, they're like, what the hell? What the fuck is going on right now?
Savage.
It's fucked up. Well, yeah. So now you have two groups. The people that are trying to protect them down there. Fighting against these people that are trying to go down there, like the missionaries and these other people, saying that, oh, they're suffering. They need to get brought into the modern age and shit like that. Well, who the fuck are you to say whether or not they need to be doing that? They're living just fine down there. What the fuck do they need you for? Just because what? You don't like the fact that they're fucking throwing spears at fucking animals and shit and living in fucking mud huts still? What the fuck? So what are they bothering you for?
Yeah.
You need to go down there and fucking extract them out of their homeland and ruin
Some
their.
people need Jesus.
I don't know about all that. I guess what. I mean, some people do need Jesus, but I don't know if they do or not.
Nah, it's just some people just can't mind their own fucking business. That's what it is. They got to go down there and fucking fuck with them, and
Listen, I'm all up.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, my bad. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say a lot of countries, they have laws against even talking to them or coming in contact with them to preserve their fucking way of life and shit.
They should be.
Yeah.
They should be. They should leave them people to fuck alone. If they see you out there and they want to fucking talk to you, they'll fucking talk to you. And if they want to fucking shoot an arrow at you, then you fucking leave. That's like you somebody breaking into your house and shit and telling that you need to leave your house and come stay with them for a little while and shit. The fuck I do. Because that's basically what they're doing. What's the difference? They ain't fucking bothering nobody down there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right, man. I don't think it's right. They're gonna fucking mess with these people and shit. And who's to say what we're doing is right? How do you know that they don't have it right?
It's a messy situation because, the country was built like that, The British came here and colonized this shit and kicked the Indian natives out, and, we built a beautiful country out of it, They were, they were living the same way as the Sentinel motherfuckers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But these guys down there in Amazon think that they're living just fucking fine. They don't know any better. They never seen a wheel before. They don't even know what a fucking wheel is. Think about that.
Yeah, maybe they're
These guys are
better
still.
off.
Yeah, they. What the fuck? They ain't bothering nobody down there. You want to go fucking hang out on the Amazon and shit? I'm good.
Fuck that.
You know. The guy
Yeah,
talks about like when they go down there and you have to get like 4 different interpreters just to try to talk to any of these people because that's how like different the language is like you know 10 different generations apart each one that they've been talking for 2,000 years, the same people. So to communicate with these
yeah,
people, even try to talk to them, is like they only know a few words, and you have to go through one guy that talks this language, that talks a little bit of that language, and that guy talks a little bit of that language, just to get a couple words to these other fucking people. It's crazy. He was explaining this shit. I was just like, wow, that's fucking interesting, man.
Hey, am I on?
Unfortunately. What's up, Tony?
Like a quote of the night. Listen, I had to come out. I didn't mean to come on again. Last one, I promise.
No,
Two
you're
of
good.
those
You're
school
good.
teachers. Hey, two of those school
Yeah.
teachers. That's why I've come out the backs of that. Oh, this is unbelievable. When they asked me, where are you going tonight? Are you going to be? Do you want to join us for dinner? There's 5 of them. All of them asked. So I thought, no. Listen, I'm only for my beloved Angel Gotti. But anyway, I thought I'd leave you with that. I hear the water. Here we go. We're on the. It's full of. There are a lot of rust buckets. A lot of rust buckets. But anyway, I just hope I heard you, Common. You're Common. You're praying they drop me off somewhere where there's no return for me. I love the way you have faith in me.
No, I
like stay uncle.
I think you'd come back.
Yeah,
To be honest
I
with
like
you.
stay uncle.
You talk your way out of it for sure.
Yeah,
probably
I
let you go.
bet I
They probably
could,
do
mate.
it.
I tell you what, even
I got
most
faith.
vicious torturers will walk away. They'll say, we don't want this bloke for a prison. He's going to drive us nuts tonight. See you. All right. See you.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Later, buddy.
Those are some dark waters out there.
Hey, you know how they like write they write books on like famous quotes and shit like since the dawn of man. They're gonna have fucking Tony Buick's famous words and shit. And it's gonna be like an 87 fucking different series fucking
A whole fucking
book and
encyclopedia.
shit. Yeah, it'll make the Encyclopedia Britannica look like the fucking introduction to a fucking novel.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, Tony's the best, man. That guy's a character. Bro. He's always having a good time. I know that.
Oh yeah. He's always in a good mood, traveling, having fun, seeing the world. Now he's sailing like a fucking sailor. He sounds like a fucking pirate. Ta-ta! Come on, matey, ahoy! Like
Yeah, his
Pirates
new
of the
nickname.
Caribbean shit.
We're gonna call him fucking like a Napoleon or Columbus or something. Fucking. He's traveling around the world, fucking conquering different nations and shit, dude. Taking down every school teacher in the fucking Southeast Asia.
All while supporting Hamas.
And Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. Oh yes, can't forget that. His beloved.
Hamas and Mickey. Yeah.
The beloved.
Oh man, when was it last night that I was in the chat and I think I laid down or something. And I went on YouTube just to see, if anybody else was on or what shows were going on. And fucking Mickey was on still. I caught like the last like 10 or 15 minutes. Bro, I heard the craziest conversation I've ever heard of in my fucking life on YouTube. I swear to God. It was fucking nuts. Dude, there was some lady on there. I don't know who the fuck it was, but it was Mickey, the JT guy, and some lady that was just showing her shirt, like her chest on the fucking stream. And the JT guy is talking to her about her weight and shit, and like she said she's like 300 something pounds, and he's asking her, what are I guess she has some like dark spots on her elbows, and he's telling her that she needs to get a Brillo pad and scrub them off, and he's trying to look at her ankles. He wants to see what her ankles look like, and the lady's telling him that her ankles are all swollen. She has like some fucking disorder or blood flow doesn't work, and they're as big as fucking somebody's thighs and shit. And he's like, oh, I want to
Damn.
see it. Then somehow the conversation turns into her saying she has a squirt gun to fucking bidet her own ass and shit because she can't reach back there to clean or some crazy shit like that. I'm like, what in the fuck am I actually listening to right now?
I had to
Who the
buy a
fuck?
portable bidet for my asshole.
Basically
I
a
made a
fucking
mess. Huh?
handheld super soaker to fucking wipe your ass if you can't reach it. That's
Damn.
basically what the conversation was about. I swear to God, it was crazy, man. I'm like, is this what they fucking talk about on the show? This is nuts. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
She better be spraying her ass tomorrow. It's gonna be fucking hot as hell.
Listen, I don't know who it was or what the fuck the conversation was about. Like I said, I only caught like 10 minutes of it, but I said, what in the fuck am I actually listening to right now? This is insanity.
Super soaker up the ass, huh? Why not just take a hose? Get a hose.
Well, she's probably in her bathroom, so you can't bring a hose in the fucking bathroom. Where the fuck you need a hose
Or a
from?
detachable shower head. Invest in that. You know, that's the best.
Maybe she has one of them too. I don't know. I couldn't believe what
Nah,
the
it's
fuck I was
300
hearing, but
pounds. Sounds like she needs a hose. She can't be in no tub. She can't fit in the tub.
yeah,
How's she gonna be in the tub?
he's a fucking character, boy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And he's up there, and he gets these people. Like I think he gets off on getting people to do like embarrassing shit.
Yeah. He has
Cause like,
that
how do
DJ
you?
voice, radio voice shit.
Yeah, he throws his little jabs and his little jokes in there and shit. But he gets these people to like let their guard down. The next thing you know, he's got them showing them his cankles and shit, and their fucking ashy elbows and fucking. One lady was rolling cigarettes and shit, and he's like getting her to show him how she's rolling them and putting them in a container and all that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now, man? It was weird, bro. It was weird. I don't know
Shit.
if that's like what they do regularly. I'm not really sure. I'm
No, I mean,
assuming.
are you surprised? That sounds like her type of show. That's a show she's been running for a while. That's
Well,
why
I
me
don't
and
know. I
Frank
don't.
came up with that shit with the Tard guy. But the beginning. Remember that shit?
Oh yeah, David Pate.
Yeah, that's his name, David Pate.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Should be Plate. He looks like a plate kind of guy.
Man, I don't watch it, so I don't really know. But most of the shows, doesn't she do like on memberships or something like that? So you can't even watch them unless you have one, you know.
Yeah,
But this one was live for whatever reason. It was still like public.
yeah. I keep getting free ones. I keep getting free memberships to that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Huh. No sure. Oh well,
shit.
you have to have like the thing turned on or something or
Yeah,
whatever,
to
right? Like
accept
gifts or
gifts.
something.
Yeah, yeah. It has to
Yeah.
be to accept. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't got none of that shit fucking turned on. I wouldn't care anyway. I wouldn't even fucking probably watch
yeah.
it, even if I did, honestly. I couldn't even believe what the fuck I was hearing. I was like,
It's
this is
insanity.
crazy.
Yeah, I think she's
I
going
mean,
off the deep end. You know.
well, that's what I was just gonna say. I mean, you want to talk about doing a fucking 180 and just nosediving it. I mean, Jesus, it's basically like a fucking, it's like a Howard Stern show. Basically, it's just fucking a bunch of degeneracy going on there.
But apparently they're getting money over there, supposedly, huh?
That's
Six
what she
hundred
says.
members
Yeah.
they're bragging about, so I guess it pays. You know, people want to see sick shit like that. A 95-pound mole remove somebody's ass or something. I don't know what the fuck they doing over there.
If that's what you want to do and you don't care how people are looking at you or what people
Yeah,
think of you and shit for money and shit, fucking so be it. But I ain't doing no
evidently she
shit
don't
like that.
care. Yeah,
I'll be fucking mortified if somebody fucking in my family or something was on there doing this shit.
oh
You know,
jeez, yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know them. The fuck.
What would Joey Merlino say?
Imagine what a
Motherfucker.
father would say.
Oh yeah, well I thought about that. Yeah,
I mean, what the
make
fuck is
you
it?
the fucking internet. You believe this shit? He goes on there every night with that bullshit. I can't believe this. Make you. Where's my fucking shrimp balls? I don't want to think
Uh,
about it. Huh?
Talking about having to use a fucking super soaker to fucking wipe your ass after you take a shit. I mean, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy work.
That's
That's diabolical shit right there. How do you even say that though? Like, how do you come online and say that you have to do that though? Like, why would you tell people that shit?
that's that's a that's comedy, I guess. Dark comedy.
Fucking something.
It's entertainment. That's content, I guess.
I guess so.
Maybe
I
I
guess,
should get
like
some
you said,
fucking
people are
500 pound.
fucking paying for it. So
Yeah, I should get some 500 pound chick on here with a mole on her ass,
yeah,
and you know,
maybe that's how you got to get the donations around here. I guess
shit.
you got to do some real fucking degenerate shit.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I got a picture of.
With Jenny Sack.
Well, she looked better than Jenny Sack.
Oh, that ain't
This
difficult.
is how you try. I'm not out of the house 10 minutes.
The fuck is that? That's Photoshop.
No, that's real.
That's
She
real
walks
what?
around and people just gawk at her.
Yeah, because they know she's has a half her body is fake. She looks like a fucking rhinoceros from the back.
When she took a video of her on a flight. She had to take up 2 seats.
That's supposed to be cute or something? I don't get it.
Well, yeah,
That's disgusting.
you gotta try something at least once.
I don't know. That's disgusting to me. I'm good with that.
Too big?
It's way too big.
Stomach bag, mama. All right,
You
how about
can't
this?
you can't give that any back shots.
Yeah, what about this? You like this?
Yeah, that ain't bad.
That crazed look in her eyes, like fucking Jodi Arias.
She looks
She's in,
like Karen Reed.
she was better than Karen Reed.
I'm just joking, dude. You said she looked like a crazy bitch. That's why I thought.
Yeah. Oh, she is. She is. She's gonna be president in a few short years.
Can you imagine that?
We're done. So when
She hates
Jane
white
says,
people. She
"Yeah,
hates
oh
white
yeah,
people so much, but her husband's like the whitest white dude ever. He's like a ginger. He's like Irish ginger or
yeah,
something.
yeah," and fucking sandals, a 6 foot tall ginger in sandals, fucking
She
standing
don't even
behind
like
her.
her own people.
Yeah, no, she's gonna be president, and like Jane said, the American empire will be is dying. Yes, because Democrats killed it. They divided the people. They divided the population. Now you got generations of kids growing up hating this country, hating the white man, hating the police, hating
But
the
I don't.
army. Huh?
I don't understand. Like, where did they come up with the America is dying model, like philosophy? Where is that coming from?
Because of the chaos that they sow. They go out there and protest in the streets and destroy public property, and they feel like the world's coming to an end. You're making it happen, motherfucker. Keep burning down Foot Locker and fucking Wendy's all over every fucking city
Ha-
and every fucking state. Huh?
Have these guys never been to or fucking seen fucking like Venezuela?
They want
You
it
know what I
like
mean?
that. No, yeah, they like it like that.
You like Venezuela? Go
But
fucking
when you
live
try
there. Let
to
me know
send
how it
them
works
back,
out
they
for you.
cry about it. It's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, go live in fucking Russia or fucking Tehran and fucking Iran and shit. See how much you like it. Why aren't you moving there? Then you fucking hate it here so much. Go fucking live in Tehran for a
Yeah.
couple of months. Let me know how you like it out there. You say one fucking shit like this on here, they fucking kill you right on your fucking front steps
Shit.
just for saying something like that. Be
It's
happy you can even
unbelievable.
say some shit like that.
Yeah. They even have the right to come on here, motherfucker. You know the Chinese regulate this shit. They don't allow their people to come on here and talk this shit. They watching everything, boy, and they will
Regulate it.
contact you.
Look
You
at
know?
what fucking look at what Iran did the day that the fucking war started with Israel. They
What they
shut
do?
off everybody's fucking communications and
Oh
internet, so
yeah,
they had no internet communication access and shit. They cut
yeah.
everybody off. Now, why do you think that they're doing that? They're doing that for so they can control the narrative and shit and the fucking propaganda machine that they have to push out their bullshit narratives and lie to their fucking people to get
Well,
them
anything to
all
prevent an
irritated and
uprising.
rallied up. Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't want to prevent
I'm
people from knowing the
surprised they
fucking
haven't
truth
uprised
to
already.
overthrow the government.
Now's the time. If they ever wanted an
But
uprising, now's the fucking time. But I
but
guess
smoke.
it's about to be too late,
But
huh?
smoke, the problem is that these people only know what they're told by their government and their media and shit like that. When you cut off the people's internet and communication to the outside world, like Kim Jong Un does in North Korea, those people out there think that they're living in the fucking 30th fucking century and shit. They think that they're living in fucking 100 years from now. They're that fucking technologically advanced and shit like that. Meanwhile, they're living in the fucking 60s, 50s. They think they got it fucking made. They don't know any better. These people don't know that the government is fucking doing all this
I
shit.
think Iranians are different. I think they know better because they used to live differently with the king that they had, and I think a lot of them don't remember the king. They weren't even born yet, but the older folks they remember the king and the type of society they had. It was,
Yeah,
you know, he still oppressed a few
they're
people, but
but they're not telling their grandkids about how things were and letting them know and shit,
yeah.
because the minute that they do, they're gonna be held as a threat by the fucking regime that leaks out. They go and they kill those motherfuckers for talking subversive about them. Just like Kim Jong Un does. If somebody out there defects, he goes and wipes out 5 generations of your family and 5 generations of your extended family, just to make sure nobody thought about doing some shit like that. It's
War.
fucking sick, man.
Well, Jane has a point here, but not. I
What's
mean,
that?
it didn't kill us yet, Jane. She says war and debt killed the American empire, just like numerous empires in the past, all the way back to the dawn of civilization.
Well, I mean, I can agree with if it keeps on the trajectory and path that it's been going on. Yeah, it's not going to be good, but that's why I think changes are being made and people are waking up and realizing that
But they're
things need to be
crying
done.
about it. They don't. They know it needs to be done, but they're crying about it because
They don't
people,
want to do nothing about it.
they were just going to let it go out of control, and that was it. The deficit, all that shit.
If what the government's been doing for the last 30, 40 years or whatever hasn't been working, and there's problems with inflation, and there's problem with the economy, and there's a problem with money and how it's raised and how it's brought into the government and spent and shit like that, then why be so upset if somebody's in there trying to make changes and try to solve it and draw up new solutions like the tariffs or taxes on imports and goods and shit like that to try to raise different types of money and do something about it. Now
Yeah.
it's a big fucking problem. The guy's an anarchist and he hates fucking America. Like, come on, you people are
Nobody
fucking,
else was going to
you're
fucking
nuts.
do it. Yeah. Somebody needs to do it. That's why,
Something needs to
he was
change,
meant to
no?
be there. Yeah. He was
Something
meant
needs
to
to
be
fucking
here in this
change.
time.
Hey,
Yeah.
did you ever see that book that came out like 60, 70 years ago? It's like some prophetic book and shit. I heard Joe Rogan talking about it, where they talk about maybe even the book's like 200 years old. I don't know. But
Nostradamus.
no, there's a book written about how somebody's gonna bring back the greatest empire in human history. The guy's name is Trump and shit like that. It literally describes, oh, he's gonna have a son named Baron Trump and shit like that. It's fucking crazy. You never heard about this?
I think I have heard about this. I forgot who it was though. Might be Nostradamus bullshit.
No, no, no. I forget the name of the book that was written. It was a book that was written about this, and it's literally prophesizing exactly like what's going on in the world right now, and the president and his kid's name and the whole nine. It's fucking wild, man. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, there was some fat fucking blind prophet guy, and I forgot what he said. He was predicting something too, and I think it might have just happened with this attack. Fuck, I can't remember this shit. This was months ago.
Well, the
Something
shit
about
that's going
Israel.
on, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the shit that's going on right now has been a prophecy in the Bible for since it was written.
Yeah. Well, they've been having problems over there since the Bible.
Oh yeah, and
Australia will.
they
Yeah.
always will, because they're still fighting holy wars and religious wars that they've been fighting for the last 2,000 years. Nothing's changed. Just the people. That's it.
How would you feel with Australia as a 51st state? What do you think about that?
No,
No. Canada, 51st state? No.
no.
No. Greenland. How about Greenland? Take Greenland?
I
No.
mean, I
Yeah.
don't think so, but sure.
Yeah. Well, make it a territory. It don't have to be a state. There's not enough people there to be a state. They don't
So
need to
here,
be a
so here's
state.
the thing.
Huh?
Jane's making the thing. She's saying what changes? The defense is going up $150 more a year. He's going to balance the budget by spending more. Okay, the defense budget might be going up 150 billion, but what's going down 180 billion across 10 different other sectors of spending that they're going to be reducing in order to get the money for the fucking defense? Like, you're only telling. This is my problem, is that these people, they only tell part of the story. Yeah, okay. He might have budgeted for 150 billion more dollars going into the defense budget, but is he taking 200 billion from 10 other sectors of wasteful spending that we don't fucking need? Tell the rest of the story.
Tell the whole story, man. And she called him Taco. How could you call him Taco after what you just saw yesterday? How could you do that? Or the day before?
What the
How could
fuck is taco? What is that? What was it,
Trump
taco?
always chickens out?
Oh
Because
my
there was,
god.
I forgot what it was over, but like a month ago they were calling him Taco, and then Trump was like, you know what? I think that's a nasty term. That's very nasty that you say that to
Well,
me. Yeah.
they were saying that he chickens out because of his pullback on some of the tariffs and shit that he was trying to levy
Oh
against
yeah, yeah, yeah.
China.
Meanwhile, they're crying about the tariffs, and when he takes them away or tries to be reasonable instead of being, a hard-headed prick, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't. So, he should just do what the
No
fuck
matter
he
what he
wants.
does, he's fucked. It don't
Yeah.
matter. These people will never be happy.
Now he's a
They just don't
taco.
like the guy. Yeah,
Then they
that's
cry
the
about the
shit.
tariffs if he puts them on. Takes them away, he's a taco.
Yeah, it's
Puts
ridiculous.
them on, he's an asshole.
That's
Yeah.
why I hate even fucking getting into the conversation and talking with people and shit because they just fucking talk out of their ass, man.
Doge knocked off around 12 billion. Well, thank God, whatever it is. If it's in the billions, that's 12 billion that was getting fucked off
Oh,
in fucking Venezuelan fucking transsexual Shakespeare plays and shit.
yeah. Oh my God, they only knocked off 12 billion in the first fucking 5 months. That's
Yeah,
it. Well, that's 12 billion more than we had fucking 5 months ago. No.
yeah. I think they could actually fix the fucking potholes around here for at least fucking 12 billion. Motherfucker. Potholes everywhere. It looks like a third world country. Craters, not even just a little hole. I'm talking about a fucking crater. I'm talking about you hit this fucking thing, your car's fucked. And the city ain't paying for it, and they ain't fixing it. It's been like that for years. It's just getting worse.
Well, here's the other thing too:
Motherfuckers.
is that people, this. I think this is something that people got fucked up. Maybe you're a little more, diehard and supportive of everything that is going on right now with the president or his beliefs and shit like that. I'm not in total agreement with every single thing the guy fucking does, but when the guy does something fucking right and I agree upon it, I'm gonna defend that position. And the fact that these people, Jane, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you say three good things that you think about Donald Trump that the guy's ever fucking done? I like to hear three
Yeah,
things. You,
or at
you can't
least
tell
two.
me Well, let's hear two. Yeah, let's get two. Yeah, let's hear something. Let's
And
see
I
what
don't
you
know,
got.
look, the tariffs needed to be done, but not in that fashion. Like, he should have went after China first, get some tax cuts going, and leave the other nations alone. Maybe fuck around with Mexico a little bit, but as far as like
No,
just
you
a
have to.
broad fucking brush against everybody, that was kind of crazy.
No, well, you have to do that, so they can't just say that you're targeting one specific person. You're gonna have to levy the tariffs against everybody because what's gonna happen is that you're forgetting is that if he only levies tariffs against China on importation, let's say, right, and then exports, whatever the agreement is that they're coming up with, the percentage wise, right. The problem is that if he does that and he only levies these tariffs against fucking China, what do you think China's gonna do to get their goods here without paying those tariffs? They're going to send them to the other countries that they know the United States deals with. So you have to levy the tariffs against all of them too if the products are coming from certain places. Otherwise, they're not going to fucking work, and people are going to be able to work around them.
Son
So
of
you
a
can't,
bitch.
yeah, you can't just pick and choose and say, oh, I'm only going to give tariffs against products coming directly from China and only in these particular markets or sectors of business and commerce. It doesn't work like that. You can't do shit like that. You didn't have a choice. You have to do it against everybody.
Yeah.
And the IRS and the income tax and the money that we pay now, that's all fucking still basically new. This country used to survive strictly off of tariffs alone. That was only supposed to be done for like a year or so to raise money for whatever. What were they trying to do? Uh what the fuck was that shit called?
Raise money for what?
When they were trying to do like it wasn't the industrial revolution, the revolution when they were doing all the projects and shit across the country and stuff back in like the 60s or 50s when they raised all that money with the IRS shit.
Hmm. The Italian
Wasn't
Civil
it the
Rights
big?
League?
Wasn't it the big new? Wasn't it called like the big New Deal or something like that?
Oh, yeah. That's where they got the Green New Deal from. Or some
Yeah, the
shit.
big New Deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a spin. That's the original big New Deal to change the infrastructure and shit in America and shit
Which we need now.
to move forward. Yeah, and the Green New Deal is the biggest crock of fucking liberal democratic bullshit scam I've ever heard in my
Well,
fucking
they
life.
say that Biden did a fucking industrial deal, whatever.
Yeah, for
Bullshit.
billions and billions of dollars, dude, that are gonna go to nothing but people's fucking pockets to line their pockets and change fucking nothing. Let me ask you a question.
Wasted money.
Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. So all these people that believe in this, secular worldview, right? They believe that they have a firm belief in science and stuff that can be tested and proven and hypotheses and shit like that or whatever, right? These are the same people that want you to believe that this Green New Deal is going to change the trajectory of this alleged global fucking warming and shit, right? Well, aren't these scientists the same people that go out to places like Greenland and the Antarctica and Arctic and shit like that and take these core samples and tell you about how many fucking ice ages that the planet has gone through over the last billion fucking years.
Yeah.
Don't they do that with the ice core samples that they take and show you, oh, each one of these layers you can tell was a different ice age and shit. There's been fucking 27 of them in the last, 100 million years, right? Well, last time I checked, people only been on this planet documented for the last maybe 50,000 or so. Let's say 30,000. Modern man, less than fucking 10, right? Maybe 12. Well, we weren't here when all these other ice ages and the globe fucking changed and shit like that. So what were they blaming it on then? You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Like, this is how stupid these people are, dude. The Earth constantly goes over heating and cooling phases and shit. That's how the planet and the solar system and everything was fucking formed. It's just a process of nature. There's nothing that we can do to stop or change what's going to happen on this fucking planet. Yeah, sure. Some of the gases and stuff that we produce from, greenhouses and cars and fuels and shit like that all might have a slight impact on it. But the world and the way the earth is pretty fucking sustainable to deal with fucking changes in its fucking environment. Let me tell you, it's been here for a long fucking time, and it's most likely going to be here for a long time after we're gone. It's still going to be here.
Oh, definitely. We'll be long gone, but the Earth will still be here, and they'll come up with new species.
and
They'll inherit the Earth.
And they're still going to be dealing with fucking ice ages, and they're still going to be dealing with periods of fucking global warming and shit like it's been happening for the last fucking 2 billion years on this planet. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my goddamn life is people
I mean, we
putting money
definitely
into this fucking
accelerated
shit.
it with the Industrial Revolution. There was a spike in greenhouse gases and warming,
Yeah, but if you're
compared
talking
to the
about
previous centuries.
You're
But
talking
then,
about
yeah,
slight over a period of time and shit. And their whole thing is that they're talking about the polar ice caps and shit melting and changing all this fucking stuff. Bro, have you ever taken a fucking glass of water with ice cubes in it that are floating above the fucking rim?
yeah,
When those fucking ice cubes melt, does that water flow over the side of your fucking glass and spill over your fucking table?
sometimes, not really.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes,
It never happens, dude. It doesn't
nah.
happen. Those
Depends if you
fucking
filled it to the brim.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter the fucking the buoyancy of the ice cube, just like the fucking ice caps in the fucking water, is already inside the fucking water and shit. When it melts, it ain't gonna fucking change anything.
Yeah,
It's fucking this is science and shit you learn in like second and third fucking grade. And you'll have people on here and assholes that'll hear somebody say something and shit and they'll fucking run with it and think that it's true, but they'll never actually look into it for themselves. That's the shit you gotta deal with the fucking internet nowadays. People gotten dumber because of the fucking internet. You'd think they'd get smarter because they can research shit and look shit up. They don't fucking do that.
in this day and age, too, you think they would?
I do. When somebody
Sometimes,
tells me some
yeah,
shit, I go in and I look at it. I don't just fucking read one article or listen and say, oh, that sounds good. Yeah, let me run with it. They sound schmott. No,
that
I'll
guy's
go fucking look
smart.
into it for myself. I want to see
Yeah,
what the fuck they're talking about and who else is saying what on the other side. And then I'll fucking make sense of what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. I'll draw my own fucking conclusion. I ain't gonna listen to some fucking blowjob telling me what the fuck is going on right now. I'll see this shit for myself. The fuck out of here. Fucking makes me sick. Fucking stupidity is contagious too, apparently.
Jane said, "Thank God for magic."
What, Magic Johnson? What, he's fucking got
Nah,
rid of
she
AIDS?
said, "Yeah,
What?
science is so stupid. Thank God for magic."
Well, science is fucking, well, to some extent, science is fucking stupid. Science don't know fucking shit. Every 10, why is it that science is so great that every 10 years fucking they have to change everything that they fucking thought they knew about fucking science and fucking reality? Why is that? I wonder. They're wrong all the fucking time, dude, on a regular fucking basis. The scientists can't even agree with each other. They'll all do experiments and draw conclusions and hypotheses and come up with 20 different fucking answers, and they'll all be telling you that they're fucking right.
Yeah.
Science is so good. You know that science till this day doesn't even know what light is.
Well, science is always, evolving. It's about learning and coming to a
That's
comprehensive consensus.
right,
You
which
know.
is that's exactly what my point is, though, is that everything that you think that you may know right now might not actually be fucking true, because in 10, 120 fucking thousand years from now, they're gonna find out most of it was all wrong.
When you get more information, that's when the science changes. That's why, that's what
Exactly.
Fauci taught you. Science changes.
So sitting here and telling me that I need to believe something, or I know it's true because fucking science, this is their explanation for it. I don't fucking care what that shit says. I deal with reality.
But why can't God and science be mutually exclusive? Why can't they be,
Who said they can't be?
if
I
God
didn't say
created
that.
all this shit, yeah.
Well, you're talking about two totally different things. Now you're asking whether
Scientists
or
are just
not.
trying to find out how the world works, the universe works, purposes of things. They're trying to, figure out origins and stuff of life and
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
us.
saying. The two things that you're trying to correlate right now are exclusive because fucking they have nothing to do with one
It's the
another.
study of,
Sci-
yeah.
yeah, science is trying to explain what a lot of people believe God created and God made and shit. That's what the argument is. Science is basically just saying that we don't need God to come up with these explanations and figure out the world around us in reality. That's what the argument's over. You can still have science and still have God. They don't oppose each other. The only thing, listen, this is the funniest thing is that I forget who said it. There was somebody that had a famous quote and shit that said that science only wants you to believe in one miracle, right?
What miracle? Oh, the Big Bang.
The Big Bang. Exactly. So science tells people with religious worldviews and people that don't just have a secular worldview and they do believe in God and do believe in stuff like that they don't believe in miracles and fairy tales and stories. You have to believe in all these miracles and you have to believe in all these things. It's fucking ridiculous. But then science will sit there and tell you that, well, no, you also need to give us one miracle at the same time, and you need to give us the miracle of the fucking Big Bang and then the miracle of evolution. You need to give us those couple of things, and then we'll take it from there. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm a realist, and I know when something doesn't make any fucking sense to me, and that's something that don't make any fucking sense to me.
Some things can't be explained.
Some things most likely will never be explained, and that's the whole point. So it goes back to the scientific theory, and it goes back to scientific principles and other principles that science has discovered. Stuff like Occam's razor, for example. You know Occam's razor.
I've heard of it.
Well, Occam's razor is basically the scientific proposition that when you're looking for an answer, the easiest answer is usually the one.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Right. So you have an Occam's razor argument where science is sitting here, they're trying to explain all this complexity and miracles and all these highly impossible, if not improbable events to occur and done all that because they don't want to attribute it or say that it could have possibly done by God. Instead of it being more likely that, hey, how can we explain all this stuff and what makes fucking sense? That'd be the argument or point of Occam's razor and say, well, oh, it was God. Well, they don't want you to believe that or want you to think in that. They want you to go through all these other ridiculous theories and propositions and
Yeah.
hypotheses that they fucking have. And then they turn around 10 years from now and everything that they thought they knew, they found out was fucking wrong. Now they think we live in a simulation.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing. I try to wrap my head around that.
Well, the reason that they're doing that though is because they've discovered quantum computing. I'm not going
Yeah.
to get into all that on here because people ain't even going to know what I'm talking about.
But
Most
if
likely,
you,
and they're probably just going to turn it off. But
if you keep that mindset, like, we're in a simulation, you step outside and you see how the sun goes up and down and, everything's on repeat every day. Sun rises and sets, it's dark. Sun rises and sets, it's dark. And people are getting killed in these situations out there and situations are going down out there and shit just don't seem real. Shit don't seem real. People think 9/11 was fake. They think fucking planes didn't even go into the building. They think it was fucking something else, missiles and shit. I mean, these motherfuckers, man. Everything's a video game to these people. Hollywood and video games destroyed the fucking American public
mm,
and rap music,
rap
or
music.
maybe rock and roll too. They started with that bullshit. They wouldn't even show Elvis's hips on TV. Once they started with that shit, then it was free love, having sex in the mud in the fucking in the '60s,
Well,
doing LSD and shit. Huh?
there's the funniest thing when Jane makes a comment that says that the Big Bang was discovered by a priest, right? Well, guess what? Who almost every scientific discovery was made. It was made by somebody who was a believer too. You can go down the fucking list. I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. the fact that science believes that the Big Bang occurred, they can get all the way back in time. So it's called the Planck time, right? Planck time is the last calculated time. It's called the Planck second, which is the shortest amount of time
Yeah.
before the universe was created, which is the Planck time, which is when they claim that the Big Bang started. And they want you to believe that it came from this infinitesimally dense spot that could have fit everything in the universe onto the head of a pin. And it was all created from nothing.
And then a big
Nothing created
explosion.
fucking everything. Yeah.
Yeah, from nothing.
So then let's go into scientific understanding and scientific principles, and you look at the second law of thermodynamics, and you look at Newton's laws, and every action has an equal and opposite fucking reaction. Well, you also need a first cause, then don't you, based on scientific's understanding of how the world works?
Shit.
So if the universe came into existence by this singularity, as they claim, and to explode into everything, meaning the Big Bang, then what was the cause? What was the first cause that did that action to get this fucking result? Because based on the same scientific understanding and principles, you need to understand that then. They can't explain that shit.
I think they came up with a new theory now that there were multiple Big Bangs inside of another fucking even larger
They have
universe.
and they have no proof for that. They've been talking about the Big Crunch and all that shit for fucking decades.
Crunch
And it's
boy.
all bullshit.
Crunchy
I
boy.
got half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Where's
Huh?
the charger and stuff?
Thank you, Becky.
Oh, can you bring me it, please?
Do you believe in magic? And Jane, I hope you do. Pseudo logic born from a fear of death in the zoo. It's like magic. Blame the hippies. I'm not blaming the hippies, Dwayne, but it was all downhill from there. 1969, the summer of love, having sex in the mud, 95 degrees outside, STDs and fucking LSD, and rock and roll. The rock and roll is what did it.
What is pseudoscience? I don't understand that comment she's making about pseudoscience and the fear of
Pseudoscience.
death. Are you
But
trying to say that the belief in God is a pseudoscience? Do you know what the definition of pseudoscience is? I'm not trying to put you down. It just doesn't sound like you understand that concept, but that's just me.
I don't know. I can't prove or disprove an existence of God, but when I look out and I see the fucking world and you learn about the universe and shit, and everything works in a system, that looks like it's by a grand design, man. Just us breathing and being alive is a fucking miracle, that we even
You've
exist at all. We can even communicate with each other like
anybody
this.
that's anybody that listens to your show knows that I spoke about this on your show many times, going back probably all the way like 3, 4
Yeah.
years now, right? And what have I been saying for 3 or 4 years that it's gonna eventually come out with the theory of evolution? Have I or not? Have I or have I not always said that shit needs to get overhauled? They got a serious problem with it. It doesn't make any sense, right or wrong.
I mean, it makes sense. Evolution makes sense to me. I mean, it's like a
No,
process of
micro evolution makes sense to you, not macro.
what's the difference?
Microevolution is small changes within a species. Macroevolution is speciation, changes from one species into another. Microevolution we see every single day.
It's
Macroevolution nobody has any proof of.
it's a slow process. What are you saying? Humans aren't descended from apes.
No, not only am I saying that, but that's another thing that science needs. Why do you think science needs billions of fucking years? Because they need billions of years in order so they can support theories like the theory of evolution, because you would need billions of years in order for that shit to work.
Well, evolution is a slow process. It takes time. It's basically
That's
they
that's my
eventually get
point.
based on fucking what do you call it, environmental conditions. They
That's n-
change
that's
or whatever.
that's natural selection and adaptation,
They give
survival of the fittest.
adaptations and they give
That's
birth to hybrids and shit that
no,
procreate.
that's gunsmoke. That's
It's gene
microevolution.
defects, defects in the genes,
Right, but no, but that's the problem though, is that
and eventually you get a new species.
no, that's the problem. That's bullshit. What you're talking about right now is a mutation and shit. You just said genetic defects. The theory of evolution goes against all of scientific understanding, which is that we're living in a constant state of decay where the clock is running down. The clock's not running up until the end of infinity. They all talk about the heat death of the universe, how stars eventually are going to burn out all their fuel. It's going to go to a black and be iced out. That's scientific theory. That's talking about decay. That's the second law of thermodynamics. Evolution directly opposes that exact philosophy because they want you to believe that there's mutations, not defective mutations, beneficial mutations, whereas these mutations benefit over time to turn a species into a new species. So then I'll go back and I'll ask you, if that's true, then how come cyanobacteria still exists on this earth today? It's the
I can't
oldest
explain
living
that.
organism.
Yeah,
But that's the problem. Neither can anybody in
can't
science.
explain none of this shit though. But like, let's
That's
say,
that's my argument though, Smoke. You gave the answer. That's my point.
you ever heard of these fucking people that live in, I guess, the Pacific Ocean and shit? They live in these fucking huts above the water,
Yeah, and
and
you're talking about they can just die because they get lung expansion and can
their
dive
lungs,
underwater for 10
and they
minutes.
get webbed feet too.
Yeah,
That's
but
evolution over thousands of
no,
years
that's microevolution.
due to environmental factors. Eventually, if they keep
Yes,
fucking, they're gonna have gills behind their fucking ears like Waterworld and shit.
that makes no sense.
It could happen if
It's
they keep.
there's
Yeah.
no proof that that's ever happened. That's the theory. That's what they want you to believe
So you
happened,
don't
but
believe
there's
the
zero proof
fish?
of it.
The fish eventually crawled onto land and then became a fucking salamander. The salamander became a lizard. The lizard became a fucking. Even the whale came onto fucking Earth. I think the whale was originally on Earth and then it went into the ocean and became a fucking whale. Originally, huh?
If it was there, that was because it was already implanted in the DNA in the genetic pool. There was enough variance in order for that to do that shit. I mean, you see it like when you see a tadpole turn into a frog.
Yeah. Or
Right.
like caterpillar into a butterfly. But what about the fucking dinosaurs turning into birds? You can see the similarities from the dinosaurs in their feet and their structure, their bone structure. That's
That's
evolution.
because no,
No.
no, no. That's macroevolution, Gunsmoke.
Or whatever it is. I believe in whatever the fuck that is. It's a slow process from one creature to another. They keep fucking and eventually they keep, due to environmental factors,
It's literally
it fucks with their
it's
genes. Yeah.
Gunsmoke. It is scientifically impossible that that occurred. In order for you to understand this shit, you would have to understand molecular biology and biochemistry in order to understand this shit.
What
And how
about
you
our,
would get,
yeah.
listen, you would need to understand this. People want to look this up, go and Google it. All right. You would need to look up how to explain how you went from non living organisms to living matter.
I mean, you want to go
It's
back to the
a
very beginning?
you have to. It's
There were
abiogenesis.
pools of water after the earth
No.
cooled and shit. There
Oh
was
my god,
bacteria
bro.
and fungus in the fucking pools of water and
Yeah,
the heat,
that's what they
steam
want to
and
tell you.
volcanic shit. It all mixed
Okay.
together and you had little
Yeah.
microbes that fucked each other and they
Yeah.
mutated and
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you go from a single celled organism into a multicellular organism that has a nucleus and then a membrane and shit that's fucking around it and shit? How do you explain
Well,
that?
that's the miracle of God. Maybe that was his
Well,
process
see,
of doing it
well,
that
he,
way.
well, here you go. Now you're bringing in an outside source, i.e., God, and saying that that was something that an outside source did because you know as well as I do, as well as every
I feel
scientist
like evolution is his
on this planet.
process.
It very might well could have been, but that still doesn't mean that the understanding that they have now about how evolution works is what they're saying, which I don't believe is correct.
So we're not descended from apes. You don't see the similarities, or 99% of our DNA we share with chimpanzees and shit.
Well, it's not 99%, it's 95 or
Well,
96%,
that's a
but
lot. Yeah.
we also share 90 something percent DNA with a fucking banana.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well,
I need some potassium.
I'm telling you about that.
Yeah.
But the problem that you're conflating right now is that we live on a planet that has carbon-based life. Everything on Earth is made up of carbon and shit. Everything that's
That's right.
alive that we know of is carbon based. So obviously, if God used a process in order to create life, they would have to use things on this planet that are able to use in order to create that life, right? So the
Yeah.
building blocks and shit that you have would have to make sense into what we see and we observe today. Correct?
Okay.
So that doesn't remove God. That doesn't mean that you don't need God. That doesn't mean that science knows what the fuck they're talking about, because everything on this planet is carbon based life. We're all made up of the same elements in the we're all it's
From the
everything.
sun, really. Yeah. Carbon. Yeah. All that shit.
Yeah, so then how did plants come about that process, the sunlight, and turn it into, using chlorophyll to
See,
turn
that's
it
a
into
grand
fuel?
design. You see how that works? Now, why would
Right,
that
a
work like that?
design.
Yeah.
A design. You just said it right then and there. It was designed. You know, the biggest atheist in the world was a English philosopher, right? His name was Andrew Flew. Okay. And Andrew Flew was probably the biggest atheist, most world famous atheist in the entire world. And guess what happened shortly before that guy died?
Yeah.
The human genome, DNA, was discovered.
Oh.
And then they started working on the Human Genome Project, which was also run and headed by a Christian, I don't know, maybe I guess you just say a believer, Christian scientist, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that made up the panel that did the Human Genome Project were also agnostic and atheists. Which, guess what happened after the discovery of DNA with a lot of these people?
What happened?
They're all believers now in God, because
Oh.
they understand the complexity and the fact that it's a code that was written out, and that's something that nature does not produce. It's like looking at computer code. You know, when they write computer code, it's all in these zeros and ones and shit like that.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Okay, well, that information in there to create computer code and to put that out to make programs and shit like that, how is that able to exist?
Oh, DNA is definitely like a code. They actually splice the DNA now and put their own information that they want in there to get certain traits out of whatever the fuck they're creating.
Or to remove traits and remove
Yeah,
birth defects and shit like
that
that.
too.
Yes.
They're starting to do that with Down syndrome now. They said they just found a way to do it.
Well, yeah, because they know it's trisomy 23. They know when the chromosomes are missing during pregnancy, up in, like, I think only like a matter of a couple of weeks, they can go in and they can test and they can figure it out.
It's crazy how they're able to do that shit, man.
Yeah, and that and that's
It
and
is
that
like a
right there,
code. Yeah.
yeah, that right there is science that you can hang your hat on, that you can believe in and say, okay, that this makes sense. But it's the other shit that they want you to believe and to make sense of that doesn't make any sense. And if you understand it, and you know about biology and biochemistry and how things exist and how life is formed and the building blocks, we know we have all the building blocks of life on this. But you can bring them all to a fucking lab, you can put them all together. Even a simple single-celled organism, they can put all the elements together, do everything in a petri dish in a lab, and you know what they can't make that thing do?
What?
Start living.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. And until they figure it out, I don't believe none of that shit, because they don't believe it either.
Shit. So how do you feel about them cloning woolly mammoths and shit soon?
That's interesting.
You think they
I don't
should?
know. I don't know if it's a good thing. I mean, I guess in the case of what is, I think it's the woolly mammoth or something up in Siberia and shit like that. I guess there is some type of environmental benefit if they're back in that habitat, so to
That's what they
speak. But
say. Yeah.
yeah, they also went extinct for a fucking reason.
Well, I think we killed them. We put them. We pushed them to extinction.
Well, 99% of all the life that's ever existed on Earth has gone extinct.
That's true. There's a great dying going on now. I think they're saying another great dying. A lot of species are going extinct now.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the human intervention too, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because we changed the habitats of these natural animals and species and shit, and fucking pushed them back into places that they can't live in or survive in and shit like that. And we fucking done a lot of damage.
Who created God then? The universe is eternal, so I guess God is eternal then.
No, the universe isn't eternal. That's the problem. You just said that you're a science person. You believe in the Big Bang. If the Big Bang is true, then the universe
No, but
isn't
they're coming up with
eternal.
a new theory now that there was multiple big bangs inside of this
No,
one big eternal universe. It's always been,
Gunsmoke. That's
and it
not what we're
always will
talking
be.
about. That's not what
That's
we're
how
talking
I. That's
about.
how I see it. I understand
There's
how
no
you see
proof
it.
for it. There's no proof for that.
There's no proof of any of this.
That's my fucking point. That's my point. She's on here
I'm just saying
saying
how
who
I
created
see it.
what is the one thing that the Bible says that no other religious text in the entire world says
What?
about God?
It's only one God.
No. They all say God is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. God existed, was, is, and always was. He existed outside of time. And in order, it's the only text out of all the religions and shit that talks about this. And if you look at what science's understanding is with the Big Bang and everything else, is that in order for something to be created that exists outside of space and time, which would be something that was eternal like God, right? That would be able to create or put into time everything that came into existence today. Your argument gets refuted right then and there. And to sit here and to keep playing back and going, well, who created God? And then who created God? And who created God? It says that God wasn't created. That's not what the text says. Read the book. The text doesn't say God was created. It said God is, was, and always will be. He's omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. He exists outside of space and time and created everything inside of space and time. And that's our scientific understanding of the universe.
God damn it.
And it's not a contradiction because nobody ever said, including the book, that God was ever created. It says God always was and always will be. There goes that argument.
And then you got to ask, well, if somebody created God, then who created that guy or that
Well,
woman?
and that's where the whole thing breaks down because that's a false argument.
Motherfucker. What about aliens? I guess they're God's creatures too, right?
I mean, I guess they would have to be.
They got a new video about these aliens now too, and clearer footage, and it's crazy, man. Crazy shit.
Well, I forget the guy's name. I think it was Thomas Aquinas. I think it was Thomas Aquinas that came up with it back in like the 15th or 16th century with that first cause argument. That
Yeah.
that 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 comment that she's bringing up right now has been used and refuted so many times over the last fucking 400 or 500 years. It's not even like a good comment.
It's a lot to comprehend. Something that had no beginning and no end, just was.
Well, and
It's a lot
that's
to comprehend.
well, and that's what the most interesting part about the Bible is that in that book it tells you that God is, was, and always will be. He was eternal. He existed outside of all space and time. He's the one that created everything in space and time.
Son of a bitch.
And if you believe in time, which I'm pretty sure everybody can say that we believe in time, correct? That
Oh,
means that
time, yeah.
something, yeah, that something has a start and something has an end. It's based on time.
Let me think about that. Hold on. Does time really exist just because we say so?
Well, that's an argument that they're making right now. Is time actually real?
I mean, we came up with the clock and the years. I mean, definitely the seasons work in the system, which is what we base our months around and shit. But but time really, I don't know. It's something that we keep track of. But does time really matter to the universe? I don't know. We know gravity is real. You can feel it. You don't think about it, but if you try to jump, gravity's gonna pull your ass back down.
But thank Newton for that one.
Even talking to you right now through fucking thin air on a fucking contraption is a fucking miracle in and of itself that we take for granted. To even be able to communicate and see each other and talk to each other through fucking thin air, anywhere in the world, that's a miracle right there, motherfucker. Just to be able to have the ability to do something like that is a fucking miracle.
And if anybody thinks that this is one, because in order to believe this shit, you'd have to believe that this is just one big happy fucking accident. And I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
I can't get on board with that. That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
things do happen for a reason too, and every action has a reaction.
That's right.
If time doesn't exist, why do
The
I grow
argument
half a beard? Huh? Yeah.
the argument that you're talking about, Jane, has been around for a long time. It's called the Kalam cosmological argument. It's been used or tried to be used by atheists and agnostics for forever, and it falls apart exactly when you understand it. I can't read that. What's it say?
What Jane said?
Yeah.
What argument? Why Yahweh? Why not Odin or Ketaka for the Aztecs? You haven't refuted anything. You believe what you believe because of your upbringing. And Terrence said the Earth is flat. I want to get your thoughts on that too.
It's definitely not flat.
But
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
argument over, why this God and not that God is just it's ridiculous.
there's been many gods. Some
Oh,
say,
there's only been one. It's monotheistic, worldview, or polytheistic. And to sit here and say that, why believe in that God and not believe in any other one? Well, the other ones were fucking refuted and proven to be fucking wrong. Something that they haven't been able to do with the God of the Bible. They haven't been able to do that. The other one's been refuted.
like Zeus and shit.
That's right.
But they're saying, some people say that like the story of Jesus was based off of an Egyptian story, something about Ra, somebody. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, the God of the Sun. Yeah.
It's like the same story, supposedly.
No, they're trying to say that it was taken back from the times of the epics of Gilgamesh and a bunch of other like pagan fucking beliefs and shit like that they claim existed prior to all this, which isn't even fucking true. Well, I don't know where people come up with this shit. Well, I know where people come up with it is because they don't actually like look into it for themselves and they want to believe something. So they'll just go and they'll do it's called confirmation bias, right? Where they'll go around and they'll find a thousand articles, let's say, what, 1,000 pieces of information that will refute everything that they think and they believe. But on that 1,000th article, they'll find one thing that supports something that they believe, and they'll disregard the 1,000 and just focus on the one. And that's what you're dealing with when you deal with arguments like this.
Later, Bella. Dwayne says he's a retired master's degree stoner.
Who's that?
That's what Dwayne said about himself. DL says the Earth is flat.
Oh boy.
It should be,
Hey,
Dwayne. I mean,
it might be.
DL.
It might be. Who knows?
No, no. It should be, though. There used to be a 13-month calendar until it was changed. October was the 8th month, which octo means 8. Just like November was the 9th month, Nova means 9. The numbers were in the month until changed. Sons of bitches. I thought Julius Caesar came up with this shit.
The day that argument is here's another thing. Okay, that's like saying, okay, well, the days of the week are all based on the planets in the fucking solar system. Then
Yeah, who
what's your
came up?
point? What's your point, though? I don't get it.
I guess they came up with the 7-day work week. I mean, or week, because of the Bible. I guess, right? On the seventh day, the Lord rested, and
Well, yeah,
He
that's the
created
seven
those.
days of creation. But what I'm saying is that the point that they're making right now, like, what is the point? Okay, yeah, there used to be 13 months in the calendar, but the months were only 28 fucking days long. So they changed it. Now there's 12 months, and some are 30, some are 31, and on a leap year, some are fucking less than that.
Yeah,
I don't understand the point of that, though. Like, what is the point of that? That's like me, what I just told you. The days of the week are based on planets in our solar system. And what does that mean? I don't get it.
Fucking solar system. See how it works in a system, motherfucker?
But what am I missing though? Like, what is the
Yeah.
point? I don't. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? I don't get it.
That means we're being robbed of our history. We're not living how we're supposed to be living. We should have an extra month. It should be named after Tupac Shakur. And yeah. Where would you put the extra month? In the summertime? Where the fuck are you gonna fit in an extra month?
You did you just say that Christianity was created in the 4th century? Don't pull up any more of those comments, please. Christianity was created and originated in the 1st century when Jesus died on the cross and came back and rose from the fucking dead. That's when Christianity was fucking born.
No, it became popular in the 3rd and 4th century. In the 300s. That's when the fucking Roman Empire started accepting that. That's when they were the Eastern Empire, whatever. By then, but yeah,
He's talking about. Remember what I told you about the other day with that bullshit narrative
that's
about
when
the council.
Christianity spread, huh?
Remember I was telling you about the bullshit with the council in Nicaea the other day when we spoke.
The the counselor.
The Council of Nicaea
Oh,
that's
refresh
been
my memory.
refuted.
The Council of Nicaea.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about in the 4th century when Christianity was created, when the Council of Nicaea sat down and wrote the fucking texts and scriptures that they put into the Bible, New Testament, quote unquote, which been refuted because they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, which predate the Council of Nicaea years, and it was identical to what's in the fucking Bible. Like, oh my god, I can't get like this is why I hate arguing with people like this. Like, just fucking, I just want to fucking run my head into a fucking wall. They come up with this ridiculous shit, man. It's fucking crazy.
I used to get aggravated. I just learned to just try to look at it like I'm more interested in like where they get these views from. You know, like why do they have these views? You know.
Yeah, well, you have to study and research and do homework on it. Come up with your own conclusion, But don't believe something somebody tells you just because they fucking tell you it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm right either. I'm just saying that the stuff that this person is saying has been refuted a long fucking time ago, and it's ridiculous. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Tony. Hold on.
Yeah,
Iceberg. Right
Boats and
ahead.
boats and hoes,
yeah,
boats and hoes. Every
yeah,
time
the
I leave
Council of
and I come back, I'm
Nicaea
producing a
comment.
corpse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when both East and West Christianity was still united. Uh, what century was the schism? I think in the 9th or 10th century when they broke apart. Eastern Orthodox and then Catholic West. I think that was in the 10th century, wasn't it, Colin?
You talking about the end of the Roman Empire?
I think it was the 11th, but yeah, around there, 10th or 11th.
That was
What?
a real disaster for both sides.
Well, yeah, that's when
Yeah,
that's when
the
that's when the
council,
Rome
the council
the
of
Roman
Nicaea or Nicaea was when they,
well, the schism that you're
yeah,
talking about was
and
the
that happened
separation
in what
between Roman
today's Turkey,
Catholics and
which was back then it was
Orthodox.
called Anatolia, the old Byzantine part of the Byzantine Empire. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about Council of Nicaea. Nicaea is, yeah, yeah. Back then, they were still a united church until the 11th century. You're right, Cobbett. Schism, and they literally hated each other's guts for the next century, for the next 1,000 years. Unbelievable.
The Holy
Christianity
Wars.
fall 5 centuries later to the Muslim, because they were, the western part, or where Rome was, where the Pope was, he refused to lift a finger. He said, listen, you are just as much an enemy as any unbeliever. You know what I mean? They classified it.
What a shitty day in fucking Malaysia, huh? Oh, well. He must be entering fucking North Korean fucking airspace. Poor
Hey, can
guy.
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh shit, I cut off or something.
Motherfucker. What a character.
What? Look at this comment, Jane. I didn't say anything about Jesus being in the Dead Sea Scrolls. I told you that the claim that Christianity was formed in the 4th century by the Council of Nicaea, that they claimed wrote the common New Testament, the biblical text now, isn't true, because when they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls, all of the information that was in them was exact verbatim as to what's in the Bible today. That's what I said to you. I didn't
How
say anything about the
dare
Dead
you?
Sea Scrolls and Jesus. Go back and listen to what I said. That's not what I said. I made no comment of that
Isn't
whatsoever.
the Dead Sea Scrolls the Torah? The
What's
Torah
that?
wouldn't. Isn't the Dead Sea Scrolls the Torah? Like parts of the Torah?
Yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't have Jesus in there. Not in the Torah.
I never said that they did.
Yeah, no, but she's saying that they didn't have Jesus in. Jesus isn't mentioned on the Dead Sea Scrolls. Why would he be?
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Why I fucking hate coming out and listening to people say shit like this. Like they take little parts out and then they just add shit or change something to fucking make an argument. No, I didn't even say anything about that. I never even I never made that comment at all. Period. Not one time.
I think she likes to get you riled up. That's what it is.
Well,
It
she's
is
doing a good
entertaining.
job of it.
Yeah, it is entertaining. For me,
Hey, I'm
anyway.
grabbing a drink. I'm grabbing
Yeah.
an iced tea. Hold on a second. Bring it on.
All right. What's up there, you captain of the fucking ship, boy?
Yeah,
On your way
if
to
I
Epstein
go in and
Island.
out, it's
Yeah, yeah.
because of the signal, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah, comment. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, good conversation. It's going with Colin back and forth with who? Jane Creek.
Yeah, they're both very passionate, which makes for a
Unfortunately.
good show.
Is he still on or is he dropped off?
Oh, he went
No,
to go
I'm
get
Is
a
he
here.
drink.
off?
Oh, he's back. He's
No,
back.
I'm back.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Colin. Interesting. Yeah, the history of Christianity is a fascinating story. Yeah, it's got all the twists and turns. Yeah, it's an amazing story.
Something definitely happened
Yeah,
2,000 years
Well,
ago. Something
the
went
the
down.
bot the bottom line is that if Jesus wasn't the Son of God and was crucified and didn't rise from the dead, then Christianity wouldn't exist today, because if he died on that cross and didn't come back to tell his disciples and show them, none of them would have went out and spread the word and sacrificed their lives ultimately at the end, and Christianity wouldn't even exist today. So obviously something happened and the impact was big enough that it changed the world, literally.
Something happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm more fascinated with the history. I'm more fascinated with the history of Christianity than the actual tenets of a believer. I mean, it's got a little
So,
bit of
so
superstition in
do you
that,
believe
but
the guy
the actual
existed or no?
historic. No, not so much. I think it was just
Damn.
the son. I don't know. That's my opinion.
No, it's just a
I just think
story.
it was
It's
just the
just a
son
story.
of an 18. Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. I like the historical part, which scholars still debate that it was just a woman, like today.
Yeah, but didn't the
A
Romans record this shit? Didn't the Romans record that Jesus did
Yes.
exist?
Yes. There's not an archaeologist or historian on this planet that'll tell you that Jesus wasn't a real person. Even the
oh, he was a
Muslims in
real
the
person.
Quran. Of course, yeah, but
Yeah,
people
he
No,
trying
that's
was
to
a
what I'm
real
people
asking
person.
you.
try
That's what I'm
peop-
asking you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people trying to claim
yeah,
that
yeah.
Jesus didn't exist or out of their fucking minds. There's not a historian on this planet that'll tell you that.
Yeah, he was a real person. That's what I mean. I
So
love
he's so
the
special then.
historical. Yeah,
Why
the
was he so
historical,
special then?
but the point I disagree is where all of a sudden he's this mystical worker, this magician. He could make cripples walk again, and no, that I don't believe. But as a person,
Then
for
what made him
sure,
so
he was.
special to be remembered then? Why do we base our years
When
around
yeah,
huh?
listen, when the seedling of I won't call it a cult or just a charismatic person comes on the scene, and then even after he passes away, layers and layers of centuries later, magnificence is bestowed upon him. And that's where the legend starts and keeps going and growing
So
and
he's the
growing.
Michael Jackson of fucking ancient
Could
times.
be, yeah, or someone yeah. The legend keeps growing and growing, and every century that is a time where it's easy to. People didn't have newspapers. I mean, they didn't have media, they didn't have television. So it's easy, word of mouth. A few, and don't forget, most people were not educated. The only educated class was the priests themselves, the people propagating the story of Christianity with priests themselves, other than the ruling elites, like the Roman times. Romans. Are you there,
I
Colin?
I
Yeah.
gotta disagree with that, my friend.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's just my theory, but yeah.
And yes, it took time for Christianity to spread.
There,
The Bible was
there's
written like what, 100 years after Jesus' death? 80
no
to 100 years?
50 years, but no, it's 50 years
Yeah.
after his death. But they have there's the most leading expert in the world on the resurrection of Jesus and the history of the Bible and those texts. His name's Gary Habermas. If you go on YouTube, you can watch speeches that he gives and talks about and discusses this whole thing. I'm not going to get into it because it take me too long, and I'm not really in the fucking mood to do that. But if anybody wants to watch it, go check the guy out. He's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. These are deep questions. You need, you can take a month to discuss one topic. Sit around the table and still won't finish.
Well,
You need a
well,
month.
the other problem, I just have with the claim that, you're kind of hanging your hat on or making is that, you don't believe in the miracles that were performed then because the people that lived there were uneducated and they weren't upper class and most of them were illiterate and shit like that. Well, in the Old
Yeah,
Testament, before Jesus ever lived, they had plenty of miracles in the text and shit back then that God created long before Jesus was here. And just because those people weren't educated, you're going to try to tell me that they didn't know that people didn't have babies without having intercourse?
Uh, well, yeah, you could be right there. You could be right. Like I said, I don't have the definitive answer, the full stop answer. I just have my theory, my opinion. But yeah,
Well, yeah,
no, you
that's
might
why
be
we're
right.
having a discussion on it. But the claim that because the people didn't have modern schooling or weren't literate or educated back then, because most people weren't. Let's be honest, doesn't mean that those people didn't know that miracles don't happen and the blind doesn't start to see and that a leper doesn't get healed or that loaves of bread are turned into fishes and water gets turned
Yeah,
into wine or
and,
somebody walks on water. They know that that's the whole point of belief and faith and stuff is that that's what you would have to do. Otherwise, what is them being able to read or being literate have to do with whether or not they know that a virgin birth is fucking makes no sense. That you don't need to
yeah,
read a
and the
book to know
other,
that.
yeah, and the other slight where I find it fascinating is, do you realise, or how if Christianity was all powerful and it can change, how come all these other religions still exist to this day and they've got their corner of the world or their patch, their percentage? It's if you know what
But
I mean. Even
but
Islam
but
pops up later, or Judaism still functions. If Christianity
but
was all
Tony, the point you're not mentioning though or addressing is the fact that all of those other religions they all believe in the same God. They just don't all believe in the Messiah
Oh
or the
yeah,
prophet.
those three. Yeah, monotheism. Yes, yeah, monotheism, which is a Greek word means mono means one, and
Yes.
theism. Theism is theo. Theo means God, one God. Yes, they are. Yes, they're cousins of the same batch. Those particular three, and that's why Christianity is still. A lot of people in Europe or the West don't realize it's a Middle Eastern religion. Christianity is a Middle Eastern religion that just spread to Europe, colonized Europe. And you got the traditional Europeans who are just more nationalistic Europeans. And I sometimes have sympathy where we should go back to our gods, like the Northern Europeans go back
think
to
about
Thor.
think about how crazy these people are. These radical, like, Christian fundamentalists and shit like that, right? Or these
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
the people like fucking the Diddler MRE over there that hate the fucking Jews. The guy says he's Christian and he loves Jesus, but Jesus was a fucking Jew.
Yeah, that's right. You can't have it both ways. Sorry,
Like,
Common.
this is
Really
this shit
hard to
makes
hear
no
you say.
sense.
Why? Yeah, listen, Common. Love you to bits, but if I can't answer a question, it's because these engines are super loud and I'm struggling. Look, I'm holding the earpiece in with my fingers to try and grab what I can to
That
hear
poor
you.
captain.
I'll let you guys go, but always the pleasure with the master. Common sense. I'll let you go because we're about to port. We're about to unboard here.
All right,
See
Tony.
you guys. Bye
All right,
bye.
brother.
Talk
Switch,
soon, Tony. Later, man.
switch.
My dude, he'll be back.
Yeah,
He'll be back. Safe travels, Tony.
he's
The
headed to
guy's
the
going all
island.
over the fucking place.
Yeah, to the island of Dr. Monroe.
Yeah. Elo.
Ilo, Ilo. He's
That's
gonna
right.
eat eel and Ilo, Ilo. Uh, Dwayne, his history is wishy-washy. That is why before Herodotus, it was considered an art. So who really knows anything when it comes to history? Dwayne says Greek historians know. This ain't no Aesop shit. He's talking about other motherfuckers.
Well, we know that the historical records obviously got nothing but fucking problems.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a 100% accurate historical record. I mean, that's just a fact.
They lost a lot of history with that fucking Library of Alexandria when that
Yeah,
shit burned down.
they burned it down. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing too, is that we don't even really know the history of humanity.
Yeah. No, we've lost a lot. I mean, we've only recorded what, 5,000 years out of 200,000 years, 250,000 years of human history.
I wouldn't even
Shit.
say it's been that long. I'd give it maybe only just a couple thousand, like recorded history, like written down.
Yeah. Well, since the Egyptians.
Yeah, it's a few thousand years.
Yeah, like 4 or 5,000 years. Yeah.
But that's the problem with them, though. Is how much of that do you even fucking believe?
Yeah.
I got a hard time believing a lot of it. But that's just
Hold
my
on.
opinion.
Hieroglyph boy. What's Tony Buick saying? The high school teachers gave me the address where they're having dinner tonight. Oh, no. After
Gonna be
I finish
strippers.
with them, they'll be pole dancing strippers.
Tony's about to put them to work.
Shake your ass now. A little to the left, like that. Yes. Yes.
Making it rain on them hoes, man. That's
Now
funny.
spread your ass open. Herodotus believed that the Scythians were the product from the union of Amazons and centaurs.
Yeah, you're talking about Greek mythology.
Centaur boy. That could be Danny Trio. Maybe Danny Trio's descended from fucking centaurs. You don't know.
I'm sure you'd like to fuck one of them.
I mean, there's some creatures out there that are pretty fucking amazing out there. They're able to fucking have limbs chopped off and regrow them pretty quickly. Just the human body itself, has its own regenerating fucking abilities, which is a miracle. Like your body knows to heal itself and shit when you get cut. Why doesn't it just stay cut? How the fuck you just regrowing skin and shit, Are you telling me there maybe wasn't one person out there that was extraordinary? Maybe, somebody very,
Well, there's a book out there that talks about it.
yeah. The Bible?
Right. Exactly.
What about the Book of Mormon?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, those poor people.
The Mormon religion to me is ridiculous.
I think they were waiting for Jesus to come in like 1842 or some shit. He never came.
They're
They
still
kept,
holding their breath.
they kept pushing back the years.
Well, that's the problem when you have these people that take their own interpretations of text and scripture and shit
Yeah,
and want to turn it into their own shit. That's when you have a problem.
fucking John Smith in good old 1842, fucking coming up with his own religion.
Well, it's the thing, Jane's talking about Greek mythology right now and the gods and what they believed and shit like that. And then basically she's asking earlier, why believe in Jesus and the Bible and not believe in these gods of the Greek, so to speak, with Greek mythology. And the reason is because there's no historical record of any proof or evidence of any of them people ever existing at all. There's no scientific understandings or explanations for any of it, nor can it be proven. And it doesn't make any sense, and that's why people don't fucking believe in that shit, and it's considered mythology.
Fucking Amazon's boy.
Can you read that? Like, I can't see that shit, man. It's late.
Oh,
My
she
eyes are
said
tired.
there is an awesome novel named The Last of the Amazons by Robert Pressfield. Socrates says Jesus won. Oh, look at this. Tony's back.
Sorry, yeah, I thought I'd sign off with the actual port, which is fascinating. Hang on. Even a lot,
Sick bastard.
but on the whole, just thought I'd show you the port. There's the
Yeah.
fellas there. Yeah, so I'm entering in the port. Yeah, and I'll sign off in a
Yeah.
30 seconds. And use that. But what time have you got there? What time have you got there?
It's 2:20 in the morning.
What is it?
2:20
Two,
a.m.
2:20. All right, yeah. I've got 2:20 in the afternoon. I know that because I'm 12 hours ahead of you, and I'm on a Tuesday afternoon here.
Yeah.
So okay, boys, I'll sign off. Definitely, this one's the last one. I won't bug you too long, but I thought I'd just give you as a scene
Is
to
it
the
warm?
viewers out there.
Is it hot over
Yeah.
there?
No, thank God it's overcast and it's beautiful and cooler than normal. Normally it's like you would say 100. I don't know. We call it degrees Celsius. What are you? No, we're Fahrenheit. Are you Celsius
I think we
No,
use
Fahrenheit.
or
Fahrenheit.
you're Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, use a
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. We are Celsius.
We're about to be
No,
100
it's
tomorrow.
beautiful today. Actually, it's probably the coolest day I've had in 2 weeks, which is pretty good. Um, yes, I'm entering into another island city. Okay, guys, I'll
All
sign
right.
off. All right, guys. See you. See you. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
See you,
All right,
boys. See you.
later. I'm like 50-50.
Huh?
I'm 50-50 now. Before I was sure he was coming back once. I don't
Yeah.
know. Now I'm 50-50.
You never
My
know, man.
dude. My
My
dude, Tony.
dude.
Where's my dude been at? You think he's
I don't know, man. I tried to tune into his channel yesterday or today, and couldn't find nothing, man.
oh no?
No, I guess he's not doing videos.
Is somebody striking maybe?
I don't know.
You never know in here.
Let me
He
see.
was getting struck before and shit, so maybe something happened to him. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Nothing, no.
Not really, no. God
Hmm.
damn it. He's got a
Yeah, I'm
lot
not
of
sure.
posts. He's got posts though. But I don't know, man. See what happens when you start talking about Israel and Iran. See what happens. We just traveled the whole fucking universe and back, and prehistory and future. Talked about a lot of shit tonight. Jane's very knowledgeable. Herodotus is the father of history as a science. Before that, history was considered an art. even had a muse named Cleo. My point was, even if he took it seriously, many of his conclusions were wrong. Herodus boy. Hera and Hercules and shit. I don't know. The Greeks were pretty smart. They
They're
gave you
smart.
they gave you philosophy and arithmetic and probably math and all that other shit.
AIDS.
Yeah, they started that shit too. They invented it all.
Motherfuckers.
Random shout out to the homie Big Frankie Loco. What up, essay?
Who the
Wherever
fuck is
you're at.
that?
Big Frankie Loco. I guess he's saying what up to Frank.
Oh, Frankie's there?
No, I don't know. He just said he's when Nightmare gives a random shout out. That means he's not here.
Oh, gotcha.
Motherfucker.
What's up, Nightmare?
Isn't a Pegasus a unicorn that can fly? Pegasus boy.
Yeah, that's the symbol at like the fucking mobile gas station. The Pegasus.
Oh, that's what they call it.
It's like
I
half
didn't,
man, half horse.
I didn't know that. I thought that was a centaur.
Like the same fucking thing.
Pegasus boy. I don't know. It's been a 3-hour show. Maybe we should get out of here. It's getting late
Yeah.
anyway, I guess.
Yeah, I'm
But
getting tired.
no, I appreciate you coming on, trying to drop some knowledge on these people. Hopefully, people learn something out there.
Hopefully, it's like a flying. Yeah, what is it? A flying horse, right?
Like a flight of shit. Um, but yeah, look,
But
at
all right,
least you
man. Yeah, I'm
tried.
gonna.
You tried, you know,
Yeah, I tried. I tried. A for effort.
and it made for a
But
good
yeah,
show. Yeah.
yeah, have fun. But yeah, I'm gonna lay down, and I'm fucking tired too. So I'm try
All
to
right,
pass out.
brother.
We'll catch everybody in the chat. Have a good night, guys. Catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you,
Ciao.
Common. Thank you, brother.
Later, man.
Later. Yeah. Nightmare Boy. Yeah, you do random shout outs. Yeah. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Jane. Jane's a good sport, too. She wasn't really insulting nobody, except for Donald Trump calling him a fat asshole. You know, she's entitled to do that. But I like that she kept it respectful, you know. She got her point across, and there were no insults. That's how it should be. Reasonable people. That's wonderful. So, yeah. Later, Mickey. Mickey boy. Buick could have his own travel channel. I don't know why he doesn't. He should. Get a nice little camera. Get you one of those stabilizer fucking things. He's walking around talking to people anyway. Might as well just walk around and ask people random questions. Those asshole YouTubers, they get a lot of money getting views and shit. Millions of views walking around friggin' Malaysia, eating mangoes and asking strangers questions. Like, oh, what are you doing here? How does it feel to live in a third world? Remember when he was talking like that? He should be, he should be doing that on his YouTube channel. He would have a big channel. Random shout out to Tony Buick's phone battery that must be running on plutonium. That poor fucking phone battery. That phone battery's been through hell. His travel show will be on Pornhub or OnlyFans. You should put it on OnlyFans. Jane insulted all Trump voters. Well, she claims to hate them all, no matter who's president. So she's mad at all voters, I guess. Supposedly they're all evil, no matter who you vote for. He should be locked up. Who? Tony? Locked up? Why? I haven't seen any crimes committed except for harassment and shit like that. But anyway, thank you, Tony Buick. Common sense. Dario, DL, Danny Green, Nightmare. Let me see. Oh, the anonymous person. Is there another one? Oh, nice. Oh, thank you so much. Another anonymous person. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank God. Thank God. Motherfuckers, man. God damn it. Philly says Trump took out a nuclear power and the media is crucifying him. Biden ate ice cream cones and CNN had it as breaking news. You know, it is bizarro world. That's what we're living in. And they're very passionate about it too. The radical woke leftists, very passionate about this stupid shit. We're doomed. Fucking LA is burning, being destroyed. Foreign flags being waved by rioters. And they're attacking police and federal officials with cinder blocks. And the governor says, hey, let them do it. How dare you send in the National Guard to restore order and prevent them from destroying the city? How dare you? We're going to sue you in court, Mr. President. Meanwhile, he's at a fucking vineyard sipping fucking, doing wine tasting as the city burns. Forget about the mayor. The mayor, Jesus. It's racist to send in the National Guard. We are a city of illegal immigrants. Yeah. So proud of yourself, aren't you? Got to be the craziest country in the world to welcome themselves being invaded by the millions. Only in America. Only in America would your government want you to burn down your cities and allow you to do it. And then get mad at the president for trying to stop it and control the fucking chaos. Those fucking buildings that get burned down, those Foot Lockers, those Walgreens, they get looted. The auto zones, they get looted and burned down. The fucking Wendy's, they don't come back. For years and years, just boarded up buildings that nobody's buying. It's a shit neighborhood filled with assholes rioting. Why would you want to fucking spend millions to open up a business in a fucking high tax fucking area? No. Once you burn it down, those stores are gone, they're gone. And these assholes are allowing this shit. Day in, day out, year after year. And then they get mad when you try to restore order. Oh, how dare you send in the National Guard? What the fuck do you think the National Guard is for? Doing jumping jacks upstate for fucking 2 years for some college credits? No, they're here to fucking restore order, save lives during natural disasters. You stupid son of a bitch! Like those fucking forest fires you had. It's okay, we have it under control. There's no water in the fucking fire hydrants. We care more about little fish that went extinct anyway. The water's for them, not for human beings to live. Care more about the smelt fish. The smelt fish is what we care about. That's why we diverted the water to the fish. Fuck you. Fill up the water tanks. Fill up the fire hydrants. You're in a high fire fucking zone and you don't have any preparations at all while you're sipping wine in your fancy fucking vineyard in Napa Valley, you motherfucker. having lockdowns and shit, telling people to cover up and wear masks. Well, you're eating at the fucking French Laundry, fucking fancy restaurant, $5,000 a fucking plate for some fucking crab and some fucking filet mignon. You piece of shit. Rules for thee and not for he, huh? Motherfucker. Tony, keep grabbing that leg. Keep fucking that chicken. Socrates. Jane's our token Trump hater. Trump 2028. A third term. Let's go, baby. Let's get that third term going. It's only right. We need a third term to really solidify, permanent change back to normalcy. Not this crazy bullshit, anti-American shit. Trump took out a nuclear power. I already read that, motherfucker. Bunch of dirt worshippers and snake eaters. Yeah. See what happens when you go on an Angel show. And I just want to say, shoutouts to my boy Gunsmoke the Dawn. He's a good chap, good fellow. Let's see what she says about that. She ain't gonna like that shit. What? Excuse me? No, he's the worst person on here. Gunbroke is the worst person on all of YouTube. You understand? Oh, I thought he was okay. Oh, I promise I'll never mention him again. No, you better not. Otherwise, I will be your friend. Yeah, you better tread lightly, sir. Everybody's not like me. She'll hold it against you. She's already pissed you come around here. She don't like it. She wants me dead. And if her Uncle Gene is the boss, I'm already a dead man walking. I just don't know it yet. A lot of people get killed on 4th of July because of the fireworks. They think it's fireworks. Nah, somebody's getting fucking blasted. You know? And if Gene's the boss, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. No, she don't want people coming around here. She don't want you supporting the channel, keeping me alive. She wants me dead. She said I'm the worst person on here. And I did the least amount of shit in response to her bullshit. Compared to other people. And any honest person out there would agree. I mean, boy, oh boy. This is sick. You like filet mignon? What the fuck did I say, Dwayne? What the fuck did I say? Try to make me think about what the fuck I just said here. What did I say? Fuck. Fucking Dwayne boy. Make me think about what the hell I just said here. We're just talking. It's the going attitude around here is fuck me. That's what I gather. It's always fuck me. At the end of the day, it's going to be fuck me. No matter who it is. From all sides. The worst person on here. What the fuck? How could you even muster those words together? Fix your lips to say that dumb shit about me. Out of all people. God damn it. Why me, Lord? Why? Gotta struggle and strive to stay alive. Damn. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching this shit show. I had a lot of fun tonight. I enjoy these conversations. These are intellectual conversations, and I appreciate them. Pondering the universe, the origins of man, history and shit, time and continuum, alien shit. Yeah. Talking about all that shit, boy. Formation of the planets and shit. Real shit about the earths and the gods. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be live tomorrow night. We'll do it all over again with more various topics to be had. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shit in the news going on with this Iran shit, more to talk about. So y'all stay tuned for that bullshit. And you enjoy the rest of your evening now. Happy Tuesday. It's only friggin' Tuesday, I know. But yeah, make sure you just tune in tomorrow night on this channel. You understand? I don't want excuses. We did good numbers tonight. We got into the 70s or 80s. Maybe got up to 85 there for a few minutes. Yeah, we did good. That's what I like to see. That's how it should be. You understand? Smarten up. Smarten up out there. Make sure you're tuned into the channel every fucking night. 11:30, 11:15. You understand? I don't want to hear you didn't get the alert. I don't want to hear it. I thought about going boogie boarding tomorrow, but it's gonna be fucking hot as hell. I can't. I'll die out there. As soon as I make it to the shore, I mean, I'll be dead. From the boardwalk to the shore, I'll be dead. So we're gonna take it easy. It's gonna be too hot. It's not a good day to go to the beach. When it cools on down a little bit, I'm gonna take you guys boogie boarding, give you some new content. You get to see my hairy tits glistening in the sunshine, and we're gonna have a nice day at the beach. You understand? So be on the lookout for that future episode coming soon. It's about to rain for the rest of the week in a few days, so maybe not this week, but in the coming weeks, especially in July. Yeah, for July. Yeah, I'll give you some fucking content, boy. Fucking Speedo boy. Oh yeah, I gotta get new trunks and shit. What up, stepchild? No, this is just me laying down with my eyes closed, just talking shit. Wanting to stay, but knowing I gotta go, you know. I could talk like this all night, just talking bullshit. Why not? Are you doing a Titty Tuesday show tomorrow? I should. You're always looking for Titty Tuesdays. Somebody brought up big areolas earlier. I appreciate those type of tits too. I love those tits. Big brown chocolate nipples. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I really should get out of here, shouldn't I? God damn it. You fucking areola grande boy. You look like a glazed fucking ham. We're gonna sue you, McGinley. We're gonna sue you. Oh no, Tony's still looking for itty bitty baby. Pizza got pulled over during a live, but he took it down. When was this? Today? Damn. It's probably ratting. That's why he took it down. Probably spilled the beans. Thank you, Philly. I try. Yeah, this is a Joe Rogan kind of conversation. Boy. Angel must not be a Tupac fan. I guess not. She's more of like a Beth Midler kind of fan. Beth Midler. Yeah. She doesn't appreciate Tupac Shakur. Think I need to sarge it up. Just now? Damn it. Lock them up. We'll lock them up. When are they going to finally start cleaning up these streets? Get the filth off the streets. Lock them up, impound the car. Put the dog in the pound. And, keep them locked up. Yeah. And that's it. Get a medical treatment, psychiatric treatment. Keep them institutionalized. You don't need to be driving around the U.S. threatening people, attacking people's families and shit. It's not necessary. He don't need to be a free man. He can't function in society. He's not. He's not a people kind of person. So yeah, institutionalization would be good for his ass. Get him the fucking mind meds that he needs, that he refuses to take. Needs a lot of mind meds. Rearrange that fucking brain. He doesn't like that psychology shit. No, you go and take the pills, man. They gonna force you to. They'll strap you to that chair. That's what they gonna do. Got a big guy named Jerome. He gonna strap you to that chair and force you to take the pills for your mind meds, boy. You'll be eating Jello for the rest of your life. Green Jello, motherfucker. Lock him up. You about to listen to DMX on your way home? Yeah. Arr. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. You know. Hopefully they take the dog from him. Yeah. Put him in the pound. Put the car in the impound. Put him in the pound. And put pizza in the fucking prison. Or the institutionalization, psychiatric, the Vado eating part of prison. Forever and ever. Indefinite, no, indefinite hold. There is no release date. Keep him in there for 20 years. 20 years. What is he, 50, 60? Oh, fuck. He'll still be alive in 20 years, that piece of shit. Knowing him, scumbag. Fuck. Anyway, hope the cop did his job. Hope he got a nice ticket. Poor Leon, he should be with a good owner that actually cares about him. Yeah, but, don't feel too bad. Leon doesn't know any better. Leon's confused. He was raised in a world of, an abusive relationship. That's all he knows. He's addicted to it. That dog will kill you before he kills him. Dog don't know no better. Doesn't know another way of life. Doesn't know there's a better world out there. It's sad, really. Where's Sarah McLachlan now, huh? She ain't singing no songs for fucking Leon, I'll tell you that much. She don't give a shit. That poor dog laying in that back seat all day. Can't even fucking stretch. Gotta smell the filth coming from his fucking mouth and his fucking armpits and his crotch. Stinking like fucking a sewer. Smelling like the number 6 train subway station in fucking in the Bronx. Or the A train. Ugh. You know that smell. It's horrible. That poor dog. Let me see what you guys are saying. Nothing. All right, great. Fuck me, huh? All right, yeah, I guess it's time to get out of here. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll catch you in the next episode. Until next time. Peace.